Oh, snap. We are live. What is up? What is happening, party? Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to our live. We haven't done a live in a good 6 weeks. It's been
a minute.
It has been a minute. So, obviously, I have a prettier co-host tonight in the side here. And, well, sorry, pal. And obviously, George isn't with us. He's coming remote. He's the man on the streets. Where are you at, man? What's going on?
I'm in Providence, Rhode Island.
You doing there?
My second stop of the week. I was in Kansas City yesterday.
Kansas City. How was Kansas City? Did you get some barbecue?
Kansas City barbecue is pretty good. I didn't get any this trip, but the last time we were there, we had some really good ribs. So
okay,
we definitely do that good. Although not as good as Memphis.
Really?
So you might have some KC versus Memphis people. The ribs in Memphis are better than the ribs in KC.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yep, neither would I, but facts are facts.
Well, it's actually just your taste buds. Yeah. Hey there, Bert. The beard. What is up, Iowa Hog Rider? Brad, how are you? Dr. Harley, what's up? Kane, Bagger Bader, Ray's Motorlight, Archosaurus. Haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? The beard in the caps. Huh.
Say hi to my friend.
I said hi. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Military Biker, what's up? Stevie, how are you? Robin, the lady biker. Yeah, we got rain a lot here lately too, so good luck with that. Oki's old lady is at the Stubborn American, which I was at the Stubborn American right now. But yeah, so we have not done one of these in a while. I don't remember. I know it's been like 6 weeks because I was looking at it. I forget what the date was, but it's been a long time, and we've summer's over now, and we just got back from Ocean City Bike Fest, so we could talk a little bit about that. I missed my invite. Send her the link, George. She can get on.
Well, I didn't know we were inviting people, so I could send her the link though.
Listen, I'm always prepared. I was having a backup in case you couldn't get on, and so I have somebody to have a conversation with.
Backup. Thanks.
Come on.
Way to be Plan B there, Carolyn.
Plan B. What's up, V-Rodder? So I figured, yeah. So we just freaking chit chat and see what happens. I miss doing the live. So summer is just getting started there. Oh man. So what is
So we need to go to Australia.
What, did he just quit on us? So how weird is that? So what is what is Australia's winter like? That's what I want to know. Are you gonna sit here and pop in and out like a newbie? I feel like I'm on a freaking I feel like I'm on Ray's live.
I was just gonna say,
just kidding. Princess had biker cred. Yeah. So that reel did pretty good. Of you, Rod.
Is it past tense already? Is it over? My cred's gone.
I guess.
Got that one.
What I messed up? What did I mess up, Stevie? So the summer is officially over here in the Northeast. I mean, it's officially over everywhere, but we're feeling the effects more than some.
Yeah.
I was just talking with Alan from Advan, and he was telling me how it was like 97 there today. And I was like, yeah, it's currently 54 degrees. He was like, oh, my God. I was like, yeah, man, we live in different worlds. We live in very different worlds.
Summer packed her crap and left. Like
she got out of town quick.
Yes.
She was a scorned woman, and she rolled out fast. She grabbed her skivvies and left. Shots fired. Come on, you guys all freaking twist words, man. Twisting the words.
I expected it to be cooler in Kansas City. I landed in Kansas. It was like 85 degrees. And a few hours later, I got off the plane in Providence, and it was 40. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Northeast sucks, man. How are you watching 3 lives? You need to pick a live, man. Have some loyalty. It's not going to be us that he picks. So anyway, so like I was saying, summer is over. Kind of wanted to get you guys' thoughts on how the summer went this year. Start with you if you'd like. How was your summer?
Well, my summer was about as good as yours. How was yours?
That. Mine sucked. The summer sucked. I was just telling George. I feel like it was just like April, and I was really excited for the summer and everything that we were going to do and how awesome summer was going to be. And I feel like it ended like as soon as it started, and we didn't do squat. We didn't get to do pool time like we normally do. We didn't hang outside very much. We didn't get to ride that much. Now, my incident ate up 3 weeks. So what's the rest of the summer? What was the excuse for the rest of the summer?
I don't know.
Me neither. I'm just saying the summer just.
No, yours was like 4 weeks.
No, it was like 3 weeks.
All right, but it was halfway through the summer.
Yeah, it was July. It killed
summer.
July.
Yeah.
Absolutely killed July, and then August just seemed to August just came and went. Like I don't even know what happened to August.
Was there even an August this year?
Didn't feel like it, man. It felt like there was either something going on.
We did have a lot going on.
Either something going on, or it was crappy weather every weekend in August. It would be blazing hot and sunny all week, and then the weekends would be kind of crappy. I don't know, man. It was a miserable summer.
It was weird. Your accident threw things into a tizzy.
Yeah, it really did.
We need a do-over.
But like George said, honestly, all things considered, I wasn't without a bike very long. That kind of got resolved pretty quick.
That's true, but that ate up 2 weeks of our time.
Well, that's what happened. So I was pretty much
consuming.
down and not doing squat for 3 weeks while I was healing. And then once I was healed, I spent like the next 2 weeks in like buy a bike mode. So that was 5 weeks right there.
Yeah.
Then I got the bike, and like I didn't want to freaking ride it because it was so awkward and uncomfortable with those horrible freaking stock handlebars that we were trying to wait to get the stuff to do the bar install. So that ate up some more time.
Yeah.
How do we not remember her birthday? Well, that was probably the only fun thing we did that whole month was go out for your birthday. That was probably the highlight of
that was like the first fun
August.
thing we did that month, I guess, right?
Yeah. Stacy's birthday month.
But the flip side is like we've had a lot of rain down the stretch. A lot of rain, I feel like.
Like recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
recently, yeah. What is
Yeah.
I'm so ding season over packet. I don't know what that means. Retype that. I'm some riding season's over. Pack it up. Nah, well, our riding season's not over. The problem we have now is it's cold in the morning and it's cold at night. So like you either have a short window of the day to ride, or you got to bundle up in the morning, or you got to be prepared to bundle up coming home. Because this is the time of year where I make the mistake every year where it's beautiful day out and we roll out to go ride somewhere, and then we stay out a little longer and it starts to get dark, and then we're riding back and it's freezing.
You don't make that mistake. You do it on purpose because you get a sweatshirt out of it every time. So.
That's only on vacation. I don't do that when we're home. And so I end up having to ride home in like 50-degree weather in a t-shirt.
I would say half his hoodies he bought out of necessity. I mean, there's nothing like a truck stop sweatshirt.
Yes, true story.
2 truck stop
sweatshirts.
hoodies, which come on now, they weren't exactly like something I was aiming to buy. And then this last one.
He's like, "Why don't you wear my hoodies?" And I'm like, "Probably because they're bright yellow."
What's wrong with a neon hoodie? People need to see you. The gold digger does rock. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I mean, it's all right.
Nah, I'm really digging it. I'm in love with it now. It seems like you guys want to extend summer and come down. Yeah, you're not joking. I would love. Why are you? You're in Daytona, or are you going to Daytona? I feel like V-Rodder is forever down in Florida. Archosaurus rode to Moorestown today. So yeah, that was the summer was pretty lame.
Well, that's your fault.
It's not my fault. It was
Yes, it is.
it was
your bike.
It was lame before I crashed my bike.
How do you know? We were just getting going.
Because I was out riding by myself like 3 weekends in a row.
Crashing his bike might have been the spiciest thing that happened to him.
That's true.
I was out riding. I don't
Listen,
know.
if you
You
want
guys weren't
adventure,
riding, but I was
you
riding.
don't have to try to kill yourself to do it. Just like
I
say
was
you need
in
more.
Gettysburg. I was in Poconos. I was riding all over the place. Where were you guys at?
I was in Gettysburg with you.
No, you weren't. No,
Yes,
I'm not,
I was.
I'm not talking about bike week. I'm talking about when I rode.
Well, you went on like a work day.
No, I didn't. It was
Yes,
a weekend.
You did.
It was
you didn't.
It was a weekend.
No, not what. No.
Oh my God, woman! I went to the Poconos on a
Oh my
work
God,
day. I went to
man.
Gettysburg on the weekend. It was a weekend.
You went on like a Friday.
It was a Saturday. Don't tell me when I went to Gettysburg on a Saturday. I went to the Poconos on a Friday.
Okay, well, one of them went on a Friday, and I can't go on a Friday. George can't go on a Friday. Well, maybe he
Arch Source rides to work most nights. That's good, man. What did he blow up now? Oh, Sam's bike? Yeah, I don't know. He should be in here telling us. He was just on freaking Instagram.
Stephanie said Sam's going electric now.
He should go electric.
Something tells me he'll find a way to fiddle with those electric parts as well, and then still be broken. He can't help himself. He's got to touch stuff.
I don't get it. I don't know how something can break that often. I don't.
Because he's touching stuff.
But what are you doing? Like, what is he doing to it? That motor was a brand new
Souping it
motor
up.
installed by a freaking dealership that was supposed to be reputable, that he paid a crap ton of money for. Like, how does it just break like that? Whoa, that is
I don't know.
unacceptable, M8 Glider. We don't tolerate that kind of racism around here.
What happened?
He's something about Whiteface.
Whiteface Mountain.
It's going to Whiteface Mountain in the Adirondack Saturday. That sounds cool. I don't know, man. It's supposed to rain here Saturday.
Is it going to rain Saturday?
Well, it's saying like 30% and like early, and then it should clear up. But I don't know. It's hard to plan around that. So you don't like? So you're saying that dealership? You said just saying. Why don't you elaborate?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't talk bad about that dealership. They go after people, I hear.
It was Moonshine, right? Moonshine Harley?
Yeah. Listen,
They go after people.
Sam rides hard. You know, it is what it is. That,
He doesn't even ride.
Well, not
His
right
bike's
now.
just broke.
Bike's broke again.
Sam should have gone to Kevin Baxter. Who's Kevin Baxter? Who's Kevin Baxter, Corey? Fill us in. The gold digger would look good wet. Okay. I don't know what that means, but it made me laugh. I have an 8% chance of sunshine in Connecticut for Saturday. Okay. Rolling the dice.
Telling me there's a chance.
Mrs. Zachary, what happened to your other? Oh, that's Mrs. I was thinking of what's her face? Hi, Miss Zachary. How are you?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. I'm trying to click on the thing and click the wrong one. So.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Who is?
Sam Pepper.
Sammy P. Did you hear us talking about him?
He must have.
So what's wrong with your bike this time? Fill us in. Everybody in the side chat is talking about it and wants to know.
Stephanie says operator malfunction.
I'm with Steph.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely with her. She knows what's up.
My girl.
Not afraid to say it. Those slides rock. What slides?
Sam is the only guy I know who rides a performance bagger and slides, though.
He's a knucklehead, man. What in the world? I hate what the who
Shirtless,
here
jorts,
is
and
from
slides. It's performance bagger attire.
Did he write that upside down?
Australia?
That's fucking hilarious. Who here is from Australia? Robin the Lady Biker's from Australia.
How do you do that?
I don't know, but that's great.
That is really cool. I wish I knew how to do that.
Because I couldn't figure that out.
Fun Time Rider. New to your channel. You guys are awesome. Keep rocking and rolling. Are you guys headed to Myrtle Beach Bike Week this week?
That's a negative.
No.
Maybe Bert's going.
Maybe I will go. You want to go? Let's do it.
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, why not?
It's right now. This coming week.
It's coming up. I think it's coming up.
So we have to like pack and leave this weekend.
Rock and roll. Let's go.
Pack and leave tomorrow.
What's the problem? You like to be spontaneous. Tell Bob he needs to work on my bike and bring some meat. Listen, don't have Bob work on your bike if you want to have your heated grips work. That's all I'm saying.
Bobby V?
That's all I'm saying. Bobby V said he has something better to do tonight. He thinks our lives suck and that we're losers.
Probably did. So
Lake of the Ozarks. Arkansas is on my radar. Hardcore on my radar.
Do you want to go to Myrtle Beach or you want to go to Arkansas?
Both.
Goodness gracious.
Both. I told you. I want to sell this hole and I want to rock and roll. Let's go.
Oh, you sell your own hole.
I'll sell my hole if it gets me to Arkansas. Actually, I could probably sell my hole in Arkansas very easily. Oh, shoot. Stop typing upside down. I can barely see the regular stuff. You're killing me. Filipino, what? What? I can't read that. Can you tell what that says?
What am I looking at?
Flip text.
Yes, org.
Oh, so it's like a website you got to go to and like have some. That's weird. Funny. That is too. What's up, Droop? Yeah, seems to be electrical. Charging system keeps pooping. Steph can suck. Are you two sitting next to each other on the couch talking trash to each other?
Stop it. Don't be mean to her.
I know, Ray. That's what I'm saying. Tell her. We're supposed to be empty nesters. We're supposed to be able to do whatever we want. Let's go. Uppity up. Let's rock it.
One of my favorite shots of the Ocean City video is when I'm saying we're at Fishtails, you never know when to leave, and Steph grabbing Sam by the shirt, like turning him. I guess I said that.
That's right, Corey. That's right. Sell your hole. Whoever popped into the live as I was talking about selling my hole, I'm sorry. Sorry you had to deal with that.
You're not, though. You're not.
I told you, Sam, I'll burn it that way. I'll bring.
So are we doing another Myrtle Beach run in the spring? What are we doing?
Listen, I'm trying to get this one over here. I don't know what the dates are, but I would like to go back.
Yeah.
Wait, we did spring, right?
Yeah, it's the one we did.
I thought you had.
I wouldn't stay that far.
Connection for that one.
For the further south one?
For Myrtle Beach.
No, I don't have a connection for Myrtle. Who's my connection for Myrtle?
Bob. I thought Bob invited you to go to
No. Daytona.
Oh, Daytona.
When are we doing a group ride? Where are we going? Sam, I just asked you that the other day. Don't try to spin this around on me. You were supposed to be organizing an event. You chickened out on that. Now you won't do a freaking group ride. What do you just do? Wheelies in Steph's driveway? You don't leave anymore? She said at least my bike runs.
I think he's probably got the front wheel up on the lift and the back wheel on the ground while the bike doesn't run, so he can feel like he's doing a wheelie.
At least my bike runs. I don't know, man. I'm down to do anything. I'm ready to go. I want to go to Daytona.
Gynecologist. There's a name.
Gynecologist.
There's a name.
Great name. What is going on?
Oh, wait a minute. Does he have an Instagram page?
Probably.
I think I follow that one.
I bet you do, pervert.
Well, I'm a dyno-ho, so I got.
You're a dyno-ho. You are a dyno-ho. So Sunday is the first day that we can call and make our reservations for Sturgis.
Oh shit!
Ew. Do you know where
October
we're going?
1?
And you're gonna call, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, it's not open yet. Call back tomorrow."
They told me October 1st is when they open booking for the not repeat customers. So anybody that wasn't booked there last year.
So does Carolyn know she's staying at the Chip next year?
Carolyn knows better than to think that I would stay at the Chip. I'm not getting my RV that dirty. I'm not getting my bike that dirty. I'm not trying to sleep through all that noise. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it, Nicole. We're doing it, right, baby?
We're doing it. High five.
It's a done deal. We just got to make our reservations. Is Sam now a bagger? Bagger no? Bagger ho? Briar, are you stoned? What are you saying? You're a ripper.
He's
I'm a ripper. That's like saying I'm a real biker. Like, do you really say it if you are one? I'm just saying. I don't know. Stay at Glencoe. I don't know, man. Listen, I like to go to the party, and then I like to leave the party when it's time to leave the party.
Do you though?
Yeah, I'm old. I need my sleep. I made gliders, been to Sturgis twice. Haven't made it to the Chip yet. That changes next year. Chip's a good time. I had a good time there when I visited Pro Monkey and stayed there for a couple days with them. That was a blast. But I don't think I'd want to do a full week there.
Sam wants to know who's trailing my broken bike to Sturgis.
Who's trailering the bike? Listen, Steph said she's all about trailer, and she is down to do some trailers. So just throw those suckers on a trailer and roll. You can borrow my trailer.
You can trailer out, and then you can rip around all you want once you get there.
What kind of car you got, Sam? What do you got? Like a Honda Civic or something?
Doesn't he drive like a little Civic?
I don't know what he drives. You better find something you can tow with.
Listen, just throw it in the back of his GPS truck.
I know a place for Sturgis. What place would that be, Brad? He said, I don't drink a whole lot, but I smoke a lot of green.
Stacy just, yes, you're right, girl.
All I mean is that when I'm done and I'm drunk and it's over, like I want to be able to sleep someplace peacefully. That's all I mean.
But you don't want to leave the party. That's
not true. Not always. It depends.
I'm sorry, what?
It depends. Smoke out's a good time. I am not going to a smoke out. I am not. First of all, the smoke out is not for us bagger bros and old men with geezer glides. So it's a chopper event, and I don't own a chopper.
Who said it's a chopper event?
That's what the smoke out is. It's a chopper event. It's all the chopper builders.
It's in the title of the smoke out chopper event.
Do you want to challenge me on this?
Yes,
it's a chopper event.
I'm asking sober.
It's nothing but chopper builders and chopper shows, and Monkey doesn't even take any of his bikes. They just go there and they party, and everybody's other than whoever has. There he is. Some people with RVs and a lot of people tent camping, and they just party, and it's like it's a muddy mess.
Ugh. Sounds great.
And now he's gonna be like, you little bitches.
World's greatest chopper party. There you go.
There you go. See, would you tell my woman it's a chopper party? She don't believe me.
It's a chopper.
Chopper, baby.
It's a chopper.
But I want the
Chris
blueberry
Penis.
pancakes.
Did you take you took the tour glide, because next best thing to the chopper is having some old classic dresser, old man bike.
Called it a dresser.
Yes, because that was a dresser. That thing is not cool enough to be called a bagger. So yes, it was a dresser. What's up, Eric? So we just put out our video Tuesday about our ride. So we don't normally bash places, but do you want to give people an inside tip on the rope walk in Chincoteague, Virginia?
Yeah, don't go there. How's that? Why don't we start with that? Just don't go there, because not only were they terrible, they just don't like bikers.
Well, so I've originally thought that, but I sat there and watched a bigger group of bikers than ours get seated before us.
Well, then they didn't like us, so F them.
So I don't think they like Carolyn. I think you had an attitude when you went in there and gave our name. Jersey, your Jersey Tude you took in there with you.
I must have been a...
No, I don't know what it was. They were understaffed, and the staff that they had just didn't give a shit at all.
Well, not the staff we could see, because the waiters were running.
The one waiter we had hustled, but it didn't change the fact that it took an hour and a half to get the food after we waited an hour and a half.
The staff in the back,
3+ hours to get lunch. I don't care. There's no excuse.
No, I know.
No excuse. And it really was, if you think about it, it wasn't that busy because the inside was pretty much empty. And most of the time until later. And then the outside wasn't even full because there was a whole bunch of those tables that they weren't using.
We need to send Kitchen Nightmares there. Gordon
I left
Ramsay
them a
will
Google
whip
review.
them in the shape. I did too.
I left them a nasty Google review. I don't usually do that, but
I didn't hear back.
that place sucked. And
Nah,
it's a shame because it had a great atmosphere. Like, it was in a perfect spot on the water. It was beautiful. The facility was nice.
And normally I would say if you're going for drinks, then fine. Who cares? But the first horrible experience we had was from the bartender.
We walked
said,
so we get there, we go up to the bar.
Don't drink here.
Yeah, well, we go in here and we get on the list for a table, and there's 12 of us. So they give us a buzzer. And she's like, and there's a bar outside, and you can wait there, and down by the water, there's the fire pit. You guys can while you wait. So the whole crew comes in, we go to the bar, and the bartender like comes over and he's like, guys, I just want to let you know. There's 3 other bars here in the place, so you can go inside. There's 2 in there, and there's 1 around the other side. Like, basically saying, don't come here, F off. I don't feel like helping you. We're like, what? Then we still ordered from him, and he's like, then he was like, it all has to be together. Like, you couldn't, like, George and I couldn't just get our drinks at the bar and pay separately like you can at any bar. He's like, I got to put them all together. Like, what are you talking about? So it started off bad, and then we waited an hour and a half before we even got seated. Then we waited, another hour and a half to get food and eat food. It was over 3 hours at this place for lunch. It was freaking miserable. I was pissed. But it was a beautiful day out, I guess.
It was a nice ride.
It was a nice ride. At least we were with, cool people.
No, it was a good group. I mean, it was like 11 or 12. Everybody.
It was a good group. And then they all headed back. They wanted to get back to the vendors in Ocean City, and we had a really interesting ride. I was gonna say good ride, but I forgot about your mishap.
My mishap?
Your mishap. Oh, some people
I don't think
some
that's
people
actually
just don't know how to ride.
happened, but
No, let's talk about the mishap. This is I was witness to it. Let's talk about
there was no mishap. You guys just weren't paying attention.
huh. Weird.
I'm not telling the story because my version will get you guys will just shoot my version down. So
Well, I stayed on the pavement, so I was paying attention.
he just sold you out just like that. I was fully expecting for you two to tag team and double team up on me, and here it is. He sold you out before I even had to say anything.
He tried to kill me, and that's what you get. That's what you give me.
You did
Was
good.
it not for my superior riding skills, I would have been dead.
Here we go. You did good. You did good. You were in a hairy situation where you wind up on the grass. And
who rides on the grass? Like, why?
Who goes, wait, I'm going to turn left. Wait, never mind. I'm going to zip straight into traffic.
I don't know, buddy. She rode on the grass and she stayed up. So
yeah, I stayed up on the grass. What about you? What happened when you hit the grass?
You weren't in full
Let's
lean.
talk about that.
You're a better rider than me. I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
I was leading us to
my death.
Up to Carolyn's death. Everything was fine. I'm following the GPS, and then the GPS got weird. It looked like it wanted me to. It looked like it was making me exit the highway to take an exit to a different highway.
To the left.
Google Maps to the left. So it looked like an exit, and I'm looking at it. I'm trying to ride and look at it, and it looked like it was taking me off. So I saw the turn lane, and I'm like, this must be it. I got over in it, and obviously they got behind me. And then I noticed it wasn't an exit. The whole highway was going to go up and make a sharp right curve. So I last second realized that. I looked over and in my mirror, and I didn't see any cars. I didn't see any cars at that second. So I thought we were good, and I just kind of went back over into the right lane because I had never fully slowed down. And I just assumed we were fine. And then I looked back like 2 seconds later, and she's like off in the grass in the shoulder. And I like freaking, my heart sunk because I didn't know what happened. So you can take it from there.
What had happened was
I knew it was coming.
He got in the left lane to go left and then was like, oh, wait, never mind. There's no turn here. So let me shoot back off into traffic and go straight. And I'm behind him, but I had slowed down to take the exit. So when I realized, oh, crap, you're not actually turning and going straight, I look over and there's cars to my right. So I continued straight. What I should have done was just exit it off. But I had George behind me. You were going straight. I didn't know what he was doing. So
yeah,
I just got it went straight. And I thought in my head I would stay on the shoulder.
So did you look like, so when I went back on the road, did you like look and there was like to go and then there was a car there?
Yes. I looked in my mirror and there was two cars there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get back over. So I was like, well, I'll slow down and I'll let them go by and I'll just kind of ride the shoulder till they go and I'll get back over.
There wasn't much of a shoulder. But they weren't
like, they could see that you went and then I was there. So they kind of slowed down. So now we're riding like side by side and I couldn't get back over. And there was like, I don't know if you can see it. There was like this much shoulder. There was like white line and then like 6 inches of pavement. And then everything else was grass median. So I was like, I didn't know what to do, so I just stayed straight.
Scared the crap out of me.
I was in the grass, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the grass. And
all I looked back and saw you were in the grass.
Until I slowed down, and then I was stopped. And
I was like, so far ahead. Like, I was so far, when I looked back, you were so far behind, and you were in the grass. I had no idea how fast you were going in the grass. So, I didn't even want to look in my mirror because I thought you were, like, going fast and we're going to go down. And I was, like, my heart sunk. And then I looked and, like, you were, like, looked like you were stopping because Stacy was running over to you. So, yeah. I didn't, like, accelerate in the grass. Once I realized I was in the grass, I just didn't accelerate. And I obviously just slowed down because I'm in grass. But But I think George passed me. From pavement, like, as you went from pavement to grass, what speed were you at?
I think she was about 40.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Probably.
I think she was somewhere between like 35, 40.
I might have been between like 40 and 50, and then when I hit it, I just like let off everything, and I just had the throttle pulled in. I just kind of slowed down, and I realized, all right, I'm slow enough. I can hit the brake because I didn't want to jam on the brakes because I didn't want to go flying.
Yeah.
So I didn't hit anything. Yeah. I just kind of let.
No, you obviously did the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was behind her, so I saw the cars come up beside us. And I could tell that she saw them. So I was like on the brakes. And then I tried to get out and slow traffic down because she was still in the grass and not stopped yet. And that's like, as she stopped, I kind of rolled by her.
Yeah.
You know, but there was even like sitting on the side of that highway, like there was not much shoulder.
No, there wasn't a lot of shoulder.
No.
Because when I stopped in the shoulder, like my bike was like, the shoulder was only like this wide, I think.
Yeah,
like,
there wasn't over there. So,
but yeah, that was my fault. I felt bad about that. Obviously, not only just because I almost killed my wife, but
I mean, you learn from all situations, and I think now she knows that despite what happened there, you should have just slowed down and taken that turn, and that would have been like the safe thing to do as a rider because we had traffic. And I mean, it all happened so quick, but the safe thing to do would have taken that turn. And honestly, I mean, we'd have gotten split up, but I probably would have followed you around that turn.
Probably, yeah. And I wasn't even thinking because I saw that he just shot off. So I was kind of assuming like, oh, we're good. And then I looked over, I was like, no, we're not good. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then by then it's too late. I can't take the turn. I'm going too fast. I can't get off the traffic. So I just stayed straight.
I think that was my worst moment as leading the pack. I honestly...
No, you never do that.
I take leading pretty serious. I think I always try to do what's safest for everybody that I'm leading. I don't do stupid stuff like, you know, other people that we've ridden with. And it was just a lapse. It was a total lapse in judgment at that time with just the three of us. I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah, but it's I mean the safe thing to do in the future now, it's like, you know, would have just been to take that turn.
Yeah.
And for you too, I mean, like, we're pot committed to the turn, like, take the turn.
Yeah, I should have just taken the turn because I wasn't really, I don't know. It just was stupid.
You know, but it's, those cars came up on us quick, man. Like
honestly,
Well,
I'm seriously
down,
like when I looked, because I started to slow down, and I realized I think before I wasn't that slow when I decided to commit to going back to the highway. I looked and I didn't. That's why I went, because I looked and I didn't see anything, and I'm like, oh, we're good. I figured we could all go, but I'm sure they snuck up on us fast.
Well, yeah,
that road wasn't even that busy at that time. That road, as we rode that whole road, it was not a very busy road. And then that happened, and all of a sudden it was like shoo, 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 cars just freaking nonstop. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
First time I ever rode.
Yeah, and those guys were, I feel like, honestly, like those cars were a little confused because there was a guy in a truck, and I feel like he could see what was going on, but he had a car on the outside of him, so he couldn't switch lanes, and it was just, it was all stacked up there.
Where were you riding at that there was barbed wire fence? Were you like trying to sneak into a military installation or what?
He's from Texas.
They got barbed wires all over the place.
I didn't see any barbed wire while we were down there.
Oh my God.
Barbed wire?
Yes. What do you think was on that ranch that was right next to our property? Barbed wire.
That wasn't barbed wire. That was just fence.
Bye, Robin. Take care.
It was fence. See you later, Robin.
Robin's heading out.
Enjoy riding on the dirt and grass. So Robin said in Australia, if you can't get comfortable riding on dirt and grass, you're not going to have many places to ride in Australia.
Well, if I was on like a dirt bike and I was on dirt and grass, that's one thing. But when I'm on a highway bike and I'm on pavement and I hit grass, that's a little bit different. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, see, that was the weird thing about that, right? Because the highway did split, and like the exit was actually over there on the right, and I was thinking that we had to exit and go around this way, but we were actually our road was curving and other people were exiting to the right. So I think people that didn't want to get off the exit was coming to the left and getting in that lane. And that's why all of a sudden that section got busy. Like that's what Stacy said. I think that's exactly what it was.
People will knock jug handles in New Jersey, but guess what?
You know what?
That problem in New Jersey, because if you want to go left, you got to go right.
People do rip the jug handles, but it is so much safer than some of the stuff I see in other. What about that road coming home from Ocean City that we were on? Was that 13? What about all those places where people have to like go? They're going left, or they're coming from all the way across, and they have to go over the one lane, and then they go in that little middle section, and they shoot back across. Yeah. Those are the most dangerous things. Those people are trying to like hurry across, and like they're cutting off like moving 60 plus mile an hour traffic, and they're just trying to. They think they have enough room, so they whiz out. Like I can't imagine how many accidents happen there. Like I know the jug handles are a pain in the butt, and they can be really annoying because it's just one more light to sit at. But it's way safer than some of the stuff they have in other states. It really is safer.
Might be.
If that's what you're worried about. But like people just love that they can just whip out in front and cut across two different lanes of traffic. So you got the traffic going that way, and then they get in the middle, and then they shoot across again, the lane going that way, and it's hairy, if you ask me.
I mean, I think there's a lot less head-ons because of jug handles.
Head-ons?
Yeah. People aren't crossing traffic like without lights as much. You know, I mean, the way a lot of our jug handles are set up in Jersey, you can't make that turn until you get to the jug handle. So you got to go past your destination, make your jug handle, and then it's funny. Do people in the side chat know what a jug handle is? I just thought about that.
I don't know. Who in the side chat doesn't know what a jug handle is?
If you see a show of hands, if you do not know what a jug handle is.
I mean, most of them probably have heard of it.
Mm-hmm. Venus says he has no idea what that is. See, this is
really.
You take it for granted. You live in New Jersey. Is it a drink? This is hilarious.
Well, if you
give us your definition of what you think a jug handle is.
You never lived here, I've only ever lived here, so I didn't know there was no.
I gotta clean my glasses. I can't see nothing.
Jug handle is a Yankee term. PA biker do not know. You're right in PA, bro. Archosaurus says they make good wings. I've never had the jug handles wings, but they do make good wings. Zan Biker said we call them clover leaves. They're not the same thing as a clover leaf.
Well, they're like a quarter of a clover leaf. Well, they're kind of.
I don't know. A clover leaf is like goes over the highway and that goes over the highway.
Yeah.
And then you have the big on and off ramps. We have clover leaves in New Jersey.
It's the same theory. There's just light at the end of them.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if you look at it on paper, it looks like a jug handle. Simple as that.
Instead of making I'm gonna do this backwards. Instead of just making a left to cross the road
Of a highway.
What you do in Jersey is you make a right turn and then that loops around to a light, and then you stop at the light and then you cross the highway.
So you have to go through the light and make a right and come back out to the light
we have
you just
both.
went through.
We have both because you can loop around like this and come back around and cross over, or you get off before it and come around this way and up and cross over. So they're depending on where you're at and the layout of the highway, but it basically either way is going to form like the handle of a jug.
Yeah.
And yes, you end up sitting at the same light typically twice, which is kind of annoying.
You got to sit at the light to
then go through it,
and
then you loop around, and then you get stuck the other way,
go across.
And then you go through it. But as annoying as it is, I've seen some pretty sketchy stuff in some of these other states where I'm like, they need jug handles.
Gynecologist, it is not a roundabout, and
no,
we call those.
We have those too.
We call those circles because they are shaped.
We do call them circles because we're not in the UK or Europe. Who are we just talking to that called it a roundabout?
I don't know.
I know sometimes
that chick at Fishtails.
Sometimes the Garmins and the Tom-Toms used to call them a roundabout.
Well, the Garmin.
You used to have GPS.
Wasn't that Garmin like foreign anyway?
Well, I could give mine accents. I could get people from Europe or people from Scotland or whoever to narrate where I'm going. Stacy has George.
This guy just does not listen to words. He just doesn't listen.
Who? Wilkie?
Yes. Because he likes to stir shit. We could turn left just fine. But
sometimes you're allowed to turn left.
Who wants to turn left into okay, clearly you're from some place where there's like 7 cars and you have no problem turning left.
Well, he's from Maine. He spends a lot of time in Virginia.
Exactly. Now go down 38 or 70 and try to make a left off of a road without a light or something like that to help stop oncoming traffic. Good luck. You'll be at the ER.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic. There's too many people in the state.
Way too many people.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. In Vermont, they call them rotaries, right?
Oh, they're special up there, man.
That's a phone.
That's because they still use those phones up there. Wilkie is actually watching this on a flip phone right now.
What's a rotary? Okay, I've heard roundabout. Rotary. I'll give you roundabout, but no, it's a circle. It's not a rotary.
Dallas, you were up here. Was it that difficult? That's not what. Clicking. Was it that difficult to get from point A to point B for you up here?
You just see Moose's comment.
What's that?
Oh, just see Moose's comment.
Yep.
Everything in Jersey is so far left. There's no way to turn further left. That's the problem.
You should worry about your own state, buddy. You'll be pretty blue soon, too.
Oh, no.
Jug handles, avoids head-on collisions.
That's what we said, booby trap.
Yeah. Listen, every time I see it, and I see it all the time. If you go down 38 and you see, you know, because there it has the barriers, the Jersey barriers in between.
Yeah.
But then at every intersection with the light, there's a break, and you see people all the time in that left lane with they're about to turn left, where you can't turn left. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh, this is not going to end good at all. This is not going to end good.
Because what do you say? What are you doing?
What are you doing? You can't turn left there.
I love riding behind when you see the arm going up, and I could just hear in my head what are you doing?
So many retards.
Oh, no.
You should be, Moose. Y'all are getting overrun. I mean, it's been a losing battle forever since we were freaking kids here in Jersey. So,
Christina says, are there signs that say jug handle ahead?
No, it says all turns from right lane or something like that, or no left turn, and it'll say like right turn or all turns from right lane.
Yep.
So stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, we're just used to it, but to me, I mean, for the amount of people we have and cars on the road, I think it's way better than what you have in some places down south. And what you have down there Works for you guys because you have less traffic than most places. But up here, man.
Well, they're starting to put circles in now, other places. In New Jersey, it was experiment here, and then they're getting rid of them, and now they're putting them in everywhere else.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Just riding a motorcycle is just, it's an adventure every time you get out there, man. The people in the cars. And I notice it now, like, because I ride, I notice it when I'm driving, like today, just coming home, like, you see all these people, like, they're in the left lane, barely doing the speed limit, and then you go to zip around them. Like, I went to zip around this one car today, fat chick in the front seat like this. I'm like, you're literally, like, your head is down and you haven't looked up. Like, how are you driving? How are you driving? I don't understand. You're gonna kill somebody, man.
Moose's comment.
I don't want to keep giving Moose so much attention. This one?
Yeah.
No, I'm not Italian. I don't say forget about it.
I don't even think you say listen when you're in the car. That's just when you're talking.
I don't know.
When you're in the car and you're mad at people, that doesn't.
What do I say when I'm mad at people in the car?
Oh my God! What are you doing? That's a big one. What are you doing? Oh my God! Get out of the way! Go home. Go home. Just go home.
I think I use worse words than that.
Well, you do, but I was trying to keep it PG.
This guy, I think he has nightmares about Baltimore.
I don't know what's happening in Baltimore. Baltimore's not even that bad. I mean, have you ridden in Delaware?
Oh, Delaware.
The DC Beltway. The DC Beltway. Oh, Delaware is.
Oh,
and you know what?
Baltimore any day over Delaware.
I was having a good time, and that guy was being super nice to us. But I really should have gave it back to him because Delaware is the freaking armpit of the United States. The dude at the brewery.
Oh,
when we were talking, he was like, "Oh, you know what we call New Jersey, right?" And we're like, "What? The armpit of America?" I'm like, "No, Delaware sucks ass. Delaware is the worst. I've never had an enjoyable riding experience in Delaware, anywhere.
No.
Anywhere.
Nope.
It's miserable. There's like 90 million people packed into like a 10-mile square radius.
But they're not even like major highways. They're
No.
highways, but they're not like interstate highways. So there's lights, there's highways where you go fast, and then we're gonna come to screeching halt and back up because there's a light.
Only thing good about Delaware when you're going south and you have to drive through it on 95 is that you have to do it pretty quick because it's such a small little shithole.
It's like 5 minutes. But you do have to pay a toll for their 5 minutes.
Any of the roads, any of the smaller roads that you get off on, you're just done. You're just in traffic. How about our trip to the brewery?
That took 5 hours.
That took 5.5 hours. That should have been like 2.5 hours.
Well, that's what our ride home from Ocean City was. 6 hours.
6 hours to do a 3-hour ride. That's how long it took us. 6 hours.
Didn't take me that long.
I watched the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock games on my phone as we drove home.
Maybe that's why we took 6 hours because you were watching TV.
We took that long because you ride slow as.
Don't even. I was ahead of you, waiting for you.
I was towing our home.
Can I just say, this is my pet peeve.
Oh, God.
I get no love from bikers. I was by myself. You witnessed it.
She has no respect at all.
No love. I was riding like right in the right lane. Now, if I wasn't with him or if we were both on the bikes, we would have been going a lot faster. But I was mostly like waiting for you to catch up because you were telling.
Yeah, because she would take off because everything was lights. We hit every red light in the state of Delaware. So obviously now I gotta speed up, tow in the trailer. It takes time, and she's like going, and she has to slow down her lane.
You know, going real slow, and all these bikers kept passing me, and I had one of them that was like, "Hey." All the other ones were like,
yeah, man. I watched the whole thing too. There's some dicks. They fly by and just like, or they be like behind her, like fly by, and I'm like, these guys. And then it started raining, and it started coming down. And guess what? We were still moving along. She was riding, no rain gear, nothing, just riding through the rain. And every underpass we came to on the highway, all these old bikers, graybeards, as Monkey likes to call them, the ones with the wisdom, the badass, real bikers, were all pulled off on the overpass, hanging out, waiting for the rain, shivering like little bitches as she was flying by. I was like, yep, bitches. All of you.
I mean, I wasn't flying by, but
You were moving. They were
I
stopped.
was moving.
Hiding from the rain. Anywho.
What was great is we left early and it was in the low 50s. And we had this guy pass us on the street glide. And he had, the helmet, the baseball cap helmet on backwards. And he was in like some thin, like real tree camo shirt. And he flew by us. He was probably doing like 70 or 80 on like 130. One hand on the bars, all cool. And I don't know, like maybe 45 minutes, we flew by him and he was frozen, like one hand, sitting on one hand, doing like 40 miles an hour in the cold.
Yeah, man. The cold will make a coward out of anybody, man, on the bike. I'll tell you what. So V-Rodder, great question. So we tried to get the bike, both of our bikes loaded in. So we have it's a small toy hauler, right? It's really small in a toy hauler world because I'm trying to tow the 1500. I didn't want to get a bigger truck. So we got as light a small toy hauler as we could. Now, we've seen pictures and we know it can be done and both bikes can get in there. And we worked on trying to do that. But I think the problem we had, and we're gonna try to fix this, I think we can get both of them in there, but I didn't have the right wheel chalk. So I have one of the Condor chalks, which is great. And I need a second one because the other one that I have is too wide and I couldn't get it. Once I had the one bike up in the RV, I couldn't get the other one, the chalk pushed up far enough to get her bike up in it and still be able to close the back door. So I need to get another Condor that's narrower that I can push up further and get her front end up in further because it's a really, really, really tight fit. I can't just push them both in side by side in the back because it's not long. There's not enough length because of the kitchen countertop cabinets on one side and the other side has a closet. So it shortens the length. It's just too.
Yeah, I think we have like 80 some inches, but both our bikes are.
Both of our bikes are like 94 inches long, and the length on the short spots is like 80. So we have to take one all the way up into the kitchen, almost up to the door of the side door, and put it in there as tight to the wall as we can, like kind of at an angle. Yeah. And then the other one has to kind of come up in next to it, but it has to get up in there far enough that the back door can close. And I couldn't get it up there because of that chalk. So we have to get another. I think if we get another Condor, I think we can do it. But we didn't have it, and we were trying to do it, and it was the day we were leaving. And finally, it was just like she was like, "I'll just ride." And I told her she could have drove the truck, and I would have rode mine, but she preferred to ride. So
I haven't towed the trailer yet, so
she's not comfortable driving the truck with the trailer yet. So trust me, I would have much rather ridden than let her drove because I was down for the ride, but and
the ride down was great though.
The ride down was really good, and I would have much rather have been the one riding back in the rain than her. Trust me, because I promise you, what I was feeling having to watch her do it and worrying about her was way worse than what she was feeling just being wet and having to ride in. I would have much rather have been riding in the rain and her in the truck, but
but listen, didn't work. After 9 hours in the rain on the way to Van that one year, 20 minutes in that was a piece
drive
of cake.
with the back down, and here comes the wise suggestions. Please. Let us have all the great ideas. We would love to hear them.
We could have put my bike in the back of your truck.
Where's
we could
George?
Put some wooden ramps up into the back, and we can just back
sure.
in there.
For no, because that's your bike. I have a short bed truck. Your bike is too long for that. Because I would have to have the tailgate down, and I can't tow the trailer with the tailgate down.
What would be good is if you towed with the toy hauler trailer down. And you could just put Carolyn back there, on the porch, in a chair, having a cocktail.
Chilling with a Mai Tai. Yeah. Sure. No problem. No. What I need to do is buy a much bigger truck and a much bigger fifth wheel toy hauler, and then we won't have this problem. But we're not there yet. It's coming, but we're just not there yet. Right?
Yeah. Not there yet.
As soon as I get her to sell this house
hole, remember your
hole in the ground. As So Dallas wants to know where you are. Oh, you told him Providence, Rhode Island.
Providence, Rhode Island.
He is up there. There's a big Pride Festival going on this week, and George is representing South Jersey up there in.
Thought he was a grand marshal of that parade.
Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade.
There you go.
Show him the pink lights behind you.
There you go. That's what I get for not having her back.
Maybe it's 1,500
right.
that I can load 2 of my bikes in mine because if weight and there's no room. That's not even English. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you mean.
He left a comment earlier.
So this was the comment earlier. He said that his floor, and I think his toy hauler is small too. As the floor is a maximum.
No, I can. What's our weight? Our weight is. It's enough for both of our bikes.
Yeah.
The weight.
It's like 80 some, 85 or.
Well, no, yeah, but there's a cargo weight. Our cargo weight is like. But our cargo weight's like 3,000, 30 something, 100 something like that. So our bikes weight wise, it can deal with it. Again, like it's not ideal. I know for all the people that want to be like, oh, your truck's not big enough or blah, 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 weight, whatever.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but we could definitely fit both in there and be under the total cargo weight and total towing capacity of the truck. It's not a weight thing. It's really just playing Jenga and getting it in there right, not scratching up your bike and all that crap. You know, these bikes, man. When I looked at that thing, when we went to buy that thing, my fault. And it probably wouldn't have changed anything because we really liked it. But like, I looked at that thing and I'm like, we're fitting 2 in here, no problem. No problem. And then you put one in and you're like, oh damn, these bikes are big, man. Like
they don't look big when
they don't look big just sitting there in the driveway.
When you put it in a camper, it's like it takes a.
It's like buying a house. You have a living room and you're like, this living room is massive, and you throw a couch and a love seat and a freaking TV in there, and you're like,
where'd my living room
damn,
go?
the room's small now. Like it just fills up, man. Peabody is pippity. I don't like.
I think.
Are we speaking in tongues? Like
no,
I don't.
I think there's a conversation there somewhere, but
Peabody's pippity. I don't know.
Peabody is pippity. Pippity.
Unless Gremlin's smoking again. I mean, that also could be.
How do you know Pippity is
so
Peabody?
So there are trailers, there are RVs, toy haulers, very very similar to ours, but on the left side they don't have the so we basically have a pantry cabinet, which is like from floor to ceiling, like basically a closet that takes up a bunch of that space on that left side. So you can't you can't hug the wall and just pull the bike all the way in. And that's kind of what causes the issue. If that wasn't there, like a lot of the other ones we looked at, it would fit in. But we don't like the other ones because it didn't have the pantry. So whatever. Again, if we're going, like, as it stands right now, we've already said, like, if we were going to someplace far or a rally far that she wasn't going to ride to, we would just take mine and whatever we're at, we would just ride together on mine. Not a huge deal. This one was just close enough, only a little 3-hour ride, that it was easy for her to just ride. So that's what we did. Anywho. So anyway, Ocean City, what were your thoughts on Ocean City this year?
I mean, I was only there for a short time. I was only there for 2 days, but I liked it. I think the convention center vendors were definitely more than they have been in past years. And it was interesting. Like, we were there and I didn't feel like when I got there that it was as crowded. And I said this, I don't feel like it's as crowded as this year. I don't see as many bikes, you know, but when we got to the vendors, we have never had a problem parking.
Yeah.
We've never ever had a problem parking, and it was packed. It was packed, so I think that's pretty cool.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, it was, and it was funny because we were at breakfast. We went to breakfast. Obviously, we met up first there with Sam and Steph and a couple of their friends, and we were having that. And his one friend, Tommy. I think Tommy from New York was like, there's no one here. It's like it's dead, and I'm like, well. It's 10 in the morning. Bikers aren't exactly like, up at the crack of dawn out. They were out really late, sleep in, kind of. And then by the time we left there and headed over to the convention and went to pull in that convention, and we waited at the light to turn left in the convention for like a 4-light cycle, right? Like we were there forever trying to turn left into there, and I was like, oh crap. And you look over in the parking lot, everybody's like just cruising around the parking lot looking for spots. I'm like, this ain't good. Got in there and circled around there for however many times we did. It was packed. And then when we got off and we walked in, there was people everywhere. It was hopping, and that's great. I mean, it's great for the rally. And there was just like a few, like it only takes like a few extra vendors, like decent name vendors, to really like make it feel bigger and different than the year before. You know, you had that whole Fury Customs over there by the convention. That right there, like added that was a big add to the vendor area.
They've never been there, so it was kind of cool to see. I mean, we saw Fury for the first time in Daytona, and I think they're from North Carolina. Are they from?
I think they're from somewhere around Atlanta. I think.
Okay.
So I think they're from somewhere in Georgia. I'm pretty sure. I follow the guy on Instagram, and I think they're from somewhere in the Atlanta area, like just
wherever area code 404 is, right? Is that there? Is
Are
that
they 404? The 404 boy? It was a 404 or 407?
I think it's 404.
Might be 404. Where's that at?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
I mean, maybe that's where he's from. Maybe the store place is someplace different. I don't know.
Yeah, so that is Georgia.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he was like somewhere, not in Atlanta, but near.
Fulton, DeKalb, and Clayton County. So that's Atlanta. Yeah, so
Okay.
They are near Atlanta.
Okay.
So we saw them at Daytona. Obviously, Daytona's not a stretch for them because they're already.
Kelly B. Glyden, what's up, man? How are you? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but you haven't seen him on here.
Who's in there?
Kelly B. Glyden.
Oh yeah.
Watch his stuff.
So it's but I mean, their bikes, man. If you haven't seen their bikes are insane.
They do an awesome job. I'd love to see Southern Country Customs come up there. Like, you know, we saw them at Laconia. Like, I'd love to see them get up there. Like, I think those kind of companies and those guys coming in, like, it just adds a cool vibe. And they obviously have awesome bikes that people love to look at. And they sold at least one while we were standing there. So
I think they sold 3 or 4 bikes there.
They're not cheap bikes. So, but I mean, for people who got a few bucks and don't really want to have to build a bike themselves, I mean, they're done, man. They're like show bike ready.
Could you build a bike for what could you build that for what they're charging yourself? I mean,
I have no idea.
It's I mean, whatever. They're 60,
they're not cheap.
What are they, like 60, 50, 60
and up
somewhere?
I think they had ones there that were more than that, but yeah, they're in that range.
Mm-hmm. So it's but they're great. I mean, and there's nothing they do that I don't like. I mean, even they had 2 Batwings there this year that were just really insane, like that white and blue one.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously we're not big wheel bagger guys, you know. I think they look really cool, but I also don't think they're really functional, and I wouldn't want one, but I mean, I'm not into that, but
they did.
I still like
fat tire ones this year.
But the big fat tires, which they had a lot of, those I'm into.
Most of theirs are fat tires.
Yeah, most of them are fat tires, and some of them are like the bigger fat, like the 21 and higher 23-inch fat tires, which is pretty freaking cool. You know, Austin did his fat tire, but what was that, like an 18-inch front wheel?
Yeah, it was an 18, or might even have been a 16, I feel like.
No, I think it was 18.
Was it?
Pretty sure it was 18. Chris Phoenix and Dallas are yelling at each other like usual. So Kelly B. Glyden said, what did he say? He said, he's good. How are you guys doing? We're doing good, man. We're just on here shooting the shiz with the peoples, having some drinks and talking about our bike week experience in Ocean City Bike Week. If you're still on, Kelly B. Glyden, where are you out of? Because I'm wondering if Ocean City is too far for him. I think he might be more south. I'm not sure though. Doctor and Kelly. Batwing, lame AF. I love Dallas. Dallas cracks me up.
Says the guy with a hot wing.
Whose bike are you loving? Who got a new bike? The Moose.
Riri?
Is he talking to me? I don't know if he's talking to me.
You're
He's
the only one with a new bike.
I don't know in the side chat who has a new bike. I mean, they were talking in the side chat. He's talking to Hello Riding on Threes.
What's up, Justin?
Oh, look, it's Justin. No glide like a road glide. That's right. The biker rodeo in Forked River on Saturday. So, Big Gib. Are you the one that messaged me on Instagram? You know what? I see the signs for that every year, and I'm always like, oh, we should go to that, and I never do. I don't know. The weather doesn't look. I don't know.
What's a biker rodeo?
It's kind of like an event, almost like what Sam puts on. It's got biker games and just kind of like low key little biker event.
You gotta eat the wiener.
It's right there off of. So if you take that back road, I don't know what it's called, but it's from so you go down to the Wawa on 70 by where John and Jane live.
Yeah.
Make the right, and you go back there, and I don't know what the road is, but you go that way, and you go back like you're going to Lacey to like go to Jimmy's house. Mm-hmm. As you're on that long stretch, I think there's like a VFW or something on the left there. I think that's where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right near Popcorn Zoo. He says that's right where that is.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, man, I am really digging the new bike. Definitely didn't think I would get over the old bike as quickly as I have, but this new bike has really helped me do that. I'm in love with the color, and the more I have it, the more in love I am with it. It definitely pops, and I think it's going to look good when we're all done with it. But thank you. It's pretty dope. I like it, and it even looks good in street glide form. Believe it or not, our buddy from South Jersey who was at Fishtails has the street glide version of it, and he's got it pretty hooked up, and it's nice. Yeah, right near Popcorn Park Zoo on Lacey Road. That's what it's called, Lacey Road, right? I don't know. What do you? I mean, she's got plans Saturday, but I don't.
Chris Pena said you got to take the jug handle around the rotary to get there.
Chris Penis is full of jokes. He's off tonight, which is weird. Like usually, I think he's usually working tonight on Thursday nights. Yeah, I really wanted to do our Baggers and Brews fall group ride, but like time has just flown by, and I haven't had time to like even make any kind of arrangements for it. So I feel like it's a little like it's late. I wanted to do it the 7th, but then I never got around to like just making any kind of formal plans. And now what we should just do is tell everybody. I should just tell everybody I'm doing that freaking poker run that John sent me on the 7th, and whoever wants to come out and ride with us, come out to that.
That wouldn't be bad.
That's the 7th?
Yeah. I mean, that's local to us. Yeah, you got stuff going on, but you said you're busy every weekend in October, so you told me to just do my own thing. So
that never happened.
You said every weekend you have plans at the Red Lion House with your mom.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I heard you say that.
You said that, and I was
never said
I was
that.
like, that's very fine. I would go ahead and do what you gotta do. I will do what I gotta do. And we have one wedding weekend in the middle there on the 5th, 14th. So maybe I'll just push that out and tell everybody that I'm doing that. And then if they want to come, hey, we'll make that our group ride, the poker run. We'll just take over that poker run. That's right. So if you want to ride with us, keep the 7th open and plan to ride on Saturday the 7th with us. How is the new helmet? So the new helmet, I like the new helmet, but I'm still like, I haven't worn it enough. I feel like I'm still breaking it in. It was the last time I wore it last week. I rode about an hour down to Glassboro for a thing I had to go to down there. And it was pushing on something that was like hurting. And when it was like weird because if I turned left, it would like push even harder. And if I looked like over my left shoulder, it was like hurting my ear. So I feel like I don't feel like it's too small. I just feel like I don't know if it needs to be broke in. I don't know helmets like that really work.
Small. I think your head's just too big.
It might just be that my head's too big. I mean, and the helmet's fine.
The helmet's fine. Your head is too big.
It's all fine.
There you go. So you should have just asked Carolyn how my helmet was. She could have told you. But I mean, I'm still getting used to it. I'm still wearing it, but honestly, I still love a half helmet more than anything.
You're not supposed to wear your half helmet, which I was mad at you for wearing in Ocean City.
You wore your half helmet in Ocean City
for like a day because we only went 6 miles down the road.
Because you couldn't have crashed that day.
No.
Where's the logic in that?
I never crashed. That's the difference.
You just ride in the grass.
Yes, but did I crash? No. You ride in the grass and then you.
No, but you made a big scene about it. If it was so easy and you like doing it, you should have just been riding in the grass. Like, why did we all have to stop and come see if you were okay?
You didn't have to stop. I didn't ask anybody to stop. Y'all were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm just in the grass."
You're such a tool. Out of Michigan now, grew up out of what the? Pulled you over for the little us things. Yeah. So, like I was saying, if you wanted to ride with us in a group ride in the fall, plan for the 7th of October, and I'll put more information out this week.
Yeah.
We're going to do a big old poker run together. It's like the world's longest poker run, but only cooler.
Only shorter.
And shorter. And cheaper.
Oh, no.
I'm loving the no helmet freedom in PA. Yeah, you'll love it until you go head first into a freaking oak tree. But I get it. I don't think there should be a law. I think it should be dealer's choice. But yeah, we don't all live in free states. The WC family heard that most accidents happen within 20 miles of the house, so they moved. Who's the WC family?
You meant the WV family. I don't know who they are.
The what?
The WV family. West Virginia family.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He said WV.
Who's the West Virginia family? His family?
I don't know. 7th
is now blocked off. Big Gib NJ. Okay. All right. I'm going to put some stuff out tomorrow. Advertise the poker run that we're going on. Listen, they'll appreciate it if we bring in all kinds of people. It is a paid poker run, just for the record. I don't remember how much it was, but there was an entry fee for the poker run. But it was for I don't remember what it was for, but it was raising funds for something. What's a joke? Why Wookiee is just confusing.
Up Maley's poker run and benefits.
What's the benefit?
I do not know on here. It's
like
Asperger's. Is it Asperger's? Because I love Asperger's.
It is the worst flyer ever.
It was it didn't even have the date on it, right?
No, yeah. It's $45 per player and a pig roast at the end.
It was expensive for a poker run. Freaking Biden, man. Biden's jacking up the poker runs.
No. You can't do that poker run.
Yeah, I'm doing the poker run. You're not going to be there. So I'm basically paying for both of us. It's not robbery. It's charity. Where's your heart,
more
woman?
Than like $25 for a poker run.
I know. Well, I paid more than that.
$45.
Yeah, it's pricey, but I mean, it's the price that you got to pay to hang out with me. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
you're not even getting the money.
I'm not getting the money. That's the whole point. Like, I'm raising money for charity, and they don't even know it yet. Next year, I'm going to run that. I'm going to run that charity event for them next year. Grandma. Tornado Alley Riders. Reread The Gremlin. I'm so confused. Do Deep, just a joke. I mean, there's a lot of spell checking that's not going on, guys. And I want to understand what you're saying, but no speckensy.
Oh, you should know. Your fat thumbs type wrong crap
all
the time, and I always.
But I feel like mine are like. I feel like mine, like you can still read the sentence.
I think they're just messing with you now.
You feel like it because you wrote it. You know what you wrote. But for those of us who don't know what you were
Where are
trying to
you
say,
at? Will you live with state?
I can't help you with that one.
I know. Griffin said we're trying. Oh gosh.
Well, try harder.
Here I am talking shit about the younger generation, how dumb they are. And I'm on here hanging out with all you 40, 50, and 60-year-olds and can't read a word you're saying. Like, you're not helping me. You're not helping me at all. Too many beers to type. I got you. I hear you.
Oh, you've been there.
I've been there more than once. Buttons on cell text have been... What? Will there be another Baggers and Brews ride again in the spring? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you can come down on the 7th and ride with us if you want, if you're dying to ride with us.
That guy's in like Connecticut.
It's Connecticut. It's Saturday. You could leave at like 6 in the morning, bring $45 with you, you'd be good to go. Play poker, you might go home with some winnings. Holy Phoenix penis.
Have you ever won anything at a poker run?
I've not even been bad enough to win worst hand. Like, no, not even close. You know who used to win every time?
Who?
Rory.
Yeah.
Real.
He did.
Rory, every poker run we ran on, he won something. Sometimes he won baskets. He had to call his wife to come with the car to get these big baskets.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time. I miss that guy.
Oh, Tornado Alley Riders had to explain the joke. You move over 20 miles away from home because of accidents close to home.
Yeah, you didn't get that?
Nope, still don't get it.
Oh, so if your accidents occur within 2 miles of your house, move.
That's just...
You get it because you're smiling.
I
You
don't
get
it.
Yes,
Like,
you do.
it's so dumb that I just don't get it.
It is. That's the point. It's so
it's
dumb.
so
You just move.
It is dumb. It's a dumb joke. It's a dad joke.
It is a
George's
dad
like
joke.
he's in the witness protection program. Well,
It kind of is.
George created some problems here with the local 1%ers, and he had to get out on the run. So his bike's up for sale if anybody's interested.
There you go.
So speaking of bikes, like what's next for your bike?
We have some stuff to put on my bike. Did he just
Pink, right? You got pink accents?
he just said what's up with your bike and he just split.
No, what? I'm here.
It's like right there.
I'm right here. I hear you. Come on now. So I know we got some little things to do, but
We got some
what's
little
next?
things.
Like something like significant.
I would like to put a cam in it.
Yeah. I think we'll be doing that this winter.
And some of it is
Well,
just
Stickers.
That makes sense, actually.
some of it is just, being busy because we just haven't, we just haven't gotten around to talking about the cam thing too much, but it's definitely, to have a 114 and not put a cam in it is kind of a sin.
Yeah.
These engines are, like I said, I think the 114 is the sweet spot for this M8. I think this is the 103, the twin cams 103. This 114 is for the M8, what that engine was. So,
yeah.
Corey said it's easy.
What does that mean? Is he coming to do it for us?
Corey, man, come on down. We'll have Bob bring some meat.
Listen, Bob is constantly trying to get me to eat his meat, and actually, I'm gonna text Bob right now because I'm actually a little offended that he's not on.
He's in the Discord. I don't know why he's not on here.
He's in the Discord.
I got
He's on
something
your
for him.
live. Dang, what'd you do to him?
He's just a salty bitch some days.
George needs a turbo. George does not need a turbo. Let me tell you, for the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around the turbos that these guys put on some of these baggers. Like, dude, you are never using the power of that turbo.
You need some carbon fiber. What do you get in carbon fiber?
Oh,
let's do it.
Carbon fiber.
Let's do it.
Look at her. Let's do it. She doesn't even come hang out with us when we sit in the garage. Let's do it.
Because it takes you 17 hours to do something.
17, Bert.
I mean, it feels like it sometimes. I mean, it does kind of feel like it sometimes. I mean, we've yet to do anything that doesn't run into some ridiculous snag.
So I'm not wrong.
Some stupid thing that shouldn't even take any time ends up taking us 3 hours.
Yeah.
Every time. It's like, it never fails, man. It's just the
fat fingers.
It's the law. It's not even me. Like, I'm not even the one. Like, I'm sitting there just being the social one. Like, fucking the one that knows, the guy that the guy that knows how to do this shit is having an issue. Like, I'm not gonna butt in with my 0 cents. But yeah, it's
smart of you. Listen,
man. I mean, man's got to know his limitations. Great John Wayne said that.
He
did. Well, you know.
Listen, we did it. That last garage day, pre-Ocean City, man. We did a lot in one day.
Yeah. I mean,
it was an exhaust. It was frame-mounted foot pegs. It was, those bars. And I took photos of Sam's bike, and I got chiggers because I stood in long grass to do that.
All right, well, let's not make it a racial thing. I mean, oh, you chiggers. Oh. No, it really was. And those bars, I think we can be pretty honest with everybody. Like, I love the bars.
Yeah.
I love them. I love the feel, I love the look, I love everything. They are a biatch to install.
It's and I don't think it's specific to those to the tab bar.
Meat hooks of that size and that angle.
I think any meat hook, if you're gonna go with a meat hooks are just tough to pull cables through.
That's why so many of these guys are getting like the Dominator. No, not Dominator. What are the ones called? There's meat hooks that look just like mine, but they're only the inch and a quarter. And they come pre-wired. And that's why so many guys are getting those, because everything's pre-wired and they don't have to mess with all that crap. But you got to run that stuff through there and with that freaking funky meat hook angle. Like,
is there anything they can do to prep it for you guys, like to make it easier to run wire?
They said they did. They said they smoothed out the inside of it, but
you really can't.
And then the real kicker, like, we add that extra wire or those extra cable for the heated grips, and that makes that freaking bulk of cable and wire that you got to pull through there even thicker. Like, just not easy. Not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't even doing, like, I was just there and watching, like, the struggle, and me, like, the bars, the cables, the bike would have all been thrown in the freaking woods. I would have just freaking tossed them all and went and bought something different, because I don't have the patience for that. Now, Bob, man, I tell you what, that must be a mechanic thing, but the patience on that guy, God bless him.
Yeah. And we worked those wires to those bars for a while. Honestly, if it wasn't for the heated grips, it would have been a little less of a nightmare.
Yeah, and all that, and my heated grips aren't working because something came loose somewhere. So now we got to revisit the whole thing here at some point this winter.
Yeah,
and probably take the bars completely off and pull that whole side of the cables out again, and like.
But I think we only need to pull the left side though. It's not
the one side, but
like, why don't you try string them or something, like when you pull them through?
We do.
Pull the string through and then pull it back.
You know what? Why don't we just let Carolyn come do it next time?
Listen,
I'll do it.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna protect both parties in this, because I love both of you. All right, you don't want that, because when she does it on the first try, we're gonna look like fucking assholes.
When she does not
listen, I've seen her fix enough things where I'm like, "You're never gonna fix that," and she was like, "Boop, boop, fixed," and I was like, "I'm just saying." And I don't want to see you look like a retard on your 54th try trying to do it. So let's just not do that. Let's just keep church and state separate. All right.
I'm all for it. If she can come pull those things through in 5 minutes, I'm not knocking it.
I built shelves in our camper using math. There you go.
Did you say math?
Math. I used math. I couldn't use a level because the camper wasn't level. I used math, and I did it.
I can't right now. You just said I used
First
math.
Try. Yes.
That's what all carpenters use, is math.
Okay. Old school carpenters.
All carpenters. You have to use math and measurements.
Okay, well, I'm not a carpenter, but I
know
math,
you aren't.
And I did it.
Listen, I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying, let's not find out.
I know. I don't want to embarrass you either, so it's okay.
You wouldn't embarrass me because I wasn't the one that took forever to do it. You would embarrass George, and I'm trying to avoid that.
It wouldn't embarrass me.
He didn't do it. I thought.
I'm getting D louder. Yeah, probably.
Oh, hold on. So, Gremlin, I'm researching highway pegs that come black and all black. I'm not sure. Kiriakin or Zero. So, I mean, we're gonna tell you Zero. They're
that Kiriakin stuff that just broke on me. So
yeah, I mean the Zero's powder coat is really good. All the stuff that we get from them, they have a really good black powder coat. And honestly, look at the frame mounts; they're a little bit more expensive. But some people like the pegs. But I like the frame mounts with the floorboards. I feel
mini floorboards. It's just a more comfortable fit for your foot, man.
Yeah, but some people prefer, the floorboards and then the pegs. I mean, that's. But the frame mount stuff is really, really nice. We did a video on it a while back. It
just looks cleaner, man. It just looks cleaner. It looks nicer. It looks more like it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah,
I don't know, and it doesn't. You don't have to put anything on your actual highway bar that like rubs on that and wears that and leaves marks on that. And I've always found that like no matter how well or what brand you use or what you put on that highway bar, like there's always the chance, like I've always found that like there's always a chance that you hit like a crazy bump and it pushes and like turns wherever your highway peg like out of alignment where you wanted it, and now you got to readjust it. And now it always feels like it's always more susceptible to moving with a bump because it like loosened up. Like I just don't like it on that round bar of the highway bar, the crash bar.
Well, and you didn't know any better until you had, because the frame mounted stuff, everything with that frame mounted setup is bolted in. The frame mount bracket is bolted to the frame, and every connection after that is a screw or a bolt together that you're gonna put thread locker on.
It's just that much more solid, and it's not like just on a round bar that where it can like there's just force that can spin that. No matter how tight you make that, enough force can spin it. And with the frame mounted one, it can't. So it's just, once you put it where you want it, it's locked in. I love it, and it's comfortable. And I thought like I had mine dialed in where I wanted them on the highway bars.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried about putting them on the frame mount. I thought I was going to like lower them too much and like be further. For me, it put it in the perfect spot. So, and it has a lot of adjustments, a lot of different ways you can adjust it based on your height and stuff. So, I mean, it's really nice. They're really nice. They're not cheap. They're not cheap, but they're nice.
They're not cheap, but they're made super well.
Such good quality.
And, the other thing is, no matter how tall you are, I mean, I'm 5'11", Bert's 6'4", and we have two different lengths. So I have the regular length, Bert has the extended length. So it doesn't matter like how tall you are, you're still, at 6'4", he's still stretched out, and I feel like they're not set up as far out as they could be.
Oh yeah, like they could go for someone even taller or with maybe like longer legs or whatever. Like it could definitely be extended out further. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of flexibility with that. So that, I mean, we're biased to that. We have it, and we know the quality of it. When I bought this bike, it had some Kiriakin highway pegs on it, and they just snapped one day as we went to leave the driveway. Like they just broke off. So I wouldn't trust buying that brand again, to be honest with you.
Bike?
This one.
The yellow one?
No, the red one.
We pulled out of the driveway, and he put his foot up, and it was
it just broke off. Like
well,
they were great, they were comfortable until that. Like they were good. And they were kind of cool. They were this big bulky one where they had it was a big foot peg, but then the one piece would even flip out further and lock out even higher. So it gave you another spot for highway cruising if you want to put your foot up on that. But it just snapped at the base where it shouldn't break, and the metal just broke. So
but yeah, you can look. We did a video a while back on them. Quite a while back on them as a quick install video, and we'll be showing them again in a video coming up in the near future.
We have another video coming up?
We will soon. We haven't recorded it yet, but it's coming.
We haven't recorded it yet.
On what part?
Those zero floorboards we put on your bike.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Grandma said they did look comfortable. Yeah, they are. I mean, it depends. I have mine set up so you're 5'6", you're probably gonna have the same setup I have with the regular size, and I have mine set up to where my heel can be on my floorboard, my toe can be on, the highway peg floorboard, or you have a lot of options. I don't think, Bert, does your boot stretch from one to the other? Or are you too far out? Or
wait, what stretch from where to where?
So from the floorboard to the
I can have my heel on the floorboard and rest my toe on the mini floorboard, the highway peg. Yeah, and that's comfortable. I like that.
Yeah,
that was an option I didn't have when it was on the highway crash bar.
Yeah, and I ride like that most of the time. And if I really need to be stretched out, I throw my heel over the top of the mini floorboard, and then I'm completely stretched out.
I mean, 90% of the time, I just have my feet on the highway pegs, but that's normal normal riding. When you do a long trip, 13-hour day, my feet are everywhere. Every extra little spot that you can have to rest your foot is just an extra spot to have a different angle and stretch your leg a little bit differently and be more comfortable. So the more options you have for long distance riding, the better.
Yep.
Right. What about you? What about your bike? What do you want to do to your bike?
I need a headlight.
You need a headlight. You do need a headlight. Your headlight is it's like a pen light. It's like someone has a pen light, and it's an old 1940s incandescent bulb.
I feel like I light a candle before I take
it
off.
kind of feels like the old school cars where they lit the candle and closed it.
Yes.
Yes. It kind of feels that way because sometimes
and then it gives a dim glow to the
that's all it does.
Immediate road right in front of my.
It gives you a little halo of light, and I don't know how if you were riding alone that you would see anything.
It's so tough with those single headlight bikes, though, man. I'm the crossbones, riding at night was just useless.
But I feel like they have better stuff now that you can put in there.
What else can I get? Can I get a tour pack?
A tour pack? No. You don't want to do that to that bike. You're trying to keep that as close to.
Well, it's not a permanent part. I could just.
No, not that you have a tour pack. You want a tour pack? You buy yourself a glide. You buy a road glide, and then you can have.
I don't need that right now.
You do need that.
No,
you don't know what you need. But you do need a headlight, and we do need to get you. We need to replace those those lights with some Sierra lights. That right there, those three, those two lights, and a headlight would completely change that front end. Because I don't know how you get down the road. Sometimes I wonder how you get down the road in the daylight with those things. Zero light cannons.
Ooh, what do I do with those?
She can't have those because she don't have crash bars.
Oh, do I need crash bars?
Crash bars will change the look of your bike drastically. I don't know if it'd be for the better.
No. I can't do anything fun.
Here's a.
You have a dyno. I mean, you're a dyno hoe. You're not supposed to have fun.
Dynos are fun.
Did you get a hyper blink after you put them in, or did it have to learn, or was it not a problem? So I feel like we had a hyper blink when I did it on the red road glide, and I don't remember what I did, but there was a hyper blink.
two types of hyperblinks that I'm not sure which one to address. One is when the actual turn signal is blinking like really, really fast. And I don't think we've had that, but sometimes it's when your light turn signal, like your indicator, is blinking really fast, but your turn signal is actually blinking regular. And we had that happen on the 16 when we did that.
Yeah.
And
So the indicator in the dashboard is one speed, and the light blinking is another speed.
Yeah,
that we've had, but it didn't happen on this one.
But that's a simple fix, and you have to look that up on YouTube. But I know
it's a simple fix, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a simple fix. I just don't remember what it is. And
yeah, it was a simple fix.
If you have the problem where your turn signal's blinking a lot, that won't happen if you're just putting in the front turn signals. Sometimes you put too many LEDs on the bike, that happens. But with Zero, you're going to get a run brake turn module if you do anything in the back, and that run brake turn module fixes all of that. And that does not come included in all of your blinkers. You have to order the blinker set, which is just the rears. They don't do that for the fronts, just the rears with the run brake turn module. And then you'll be settled. What are the two of you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I do remember that on the red bike, but it was an easy fix. I don't remember what it was, but we looked it up. It was an easy fix.
Gremlin says Zero seems to be a good company, new to them. What do you think?
I mean, huge fan. I mean, I'm biased. I'm a huge fan. We've been huge fans long before we ever worked with them. Their parts we bought when we were didn't even have a channel, and bought their stuff. Their mini floorboards were one of the first things I bought, along with the phone charger. And then we, obviously we got involved with them, and we've had damn near everything they have to offer, and the quality on everything is always great, and the customer service you can't beat if something is wrong. Even before our channel worked with them, I had the phone charger, and my phone charger for some reason stopped working, and I sent them a message, and they no questions asked, just sent me a new one. So
yeah,
you can't beat their customer service, and I feel like the quality of their stuff. I feel like their phone charger has drastically gotten better over the years. It did have some issues early on where it didn't seem to last very long, and it would have some problems. But they knew that, and they addressed it along the way. And now the one that they're offering now seems like pretty bulletproof. And just all the stuff they offer is just really good quality made stuff, which I know they're not the only one, and I don't know anything about Custom Dynamics. I know a lot of people have them and love them. Their stuff's probably good too. I don't know. I don't have any of it. We've always been fans of Zero and don't have any complaints. So, as long as I don't have any complaints, why would I switch to some other product, some other brand?
Yeah, and the thing is, we approached them and asked them to support the channel because we already had so much of their stuff. That's what not something everybody kind of thinks happens in the YouTube world. But yeah, I had their blinkers, we had floorboards, we had a bunch of stuff. Before we ever even worked with them. And I think and that's a good topic, for people who are into YouTube and stuff, and they're like, oh, how do I contact the company? And and get product to do reviews on. And it's honestly, buy their stuff and do videos on it and get them to notice you.
Yeah.
That's
if you buy their stuff and you like it and you do videos on it and you support their product before you even talk to them, that goes a long way to showing that you're not just trying to get free stuff. You actually like their stuff and you want to support their brand because you like their stuff.
Right.
To go to any company before you even have anything in their product and just try to get something from them, it's obviously going to come off that you just want free stuff, right? So buy the stuff, man. Try it out. If you like it, then like support it, promote it, and then then build a try to build a relationship after that. It's the best way to do it.
Yep.
Did Piney get a charger? What kind of charger?
Phone charger, I'm guessing.
Like a RAM charger?
No, Piney finally got a charger.
She did get a Piney. She did. High fives, thanks to me.
Well, it took 4 years, but I got a charger.
Can't just take the positive and call it a day. Always got
Never.
I
Ever.
did. I said I finally got one.
Finally.
I added asterisks in there, but I got one, and it works beautifully.
It is.
But it took 4 years. I finally got one, but it took you 4 years to get me one.
How long did I ask you for a phone charger? You had like 7 before I got one.
Well, let's not get dramatic over here with the 7.
Okay, 4. You had 4 before I got one.
Well, I mean,
yes.
She has one now, and it works great.
I'm
to tell you. Yes. Thanks, V-Rodder. Thanks for stirring that pot, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's she's got one. It's great. What we really need to get her is the what do you call it? The shock and awe package, because them Chinese lights that you got,
they rock. My battery.
Holy crap. They never work. They work when they want to. They sort of work sometimes. If they get damp, they don't work. Like, they're a mess.
That's funny.
Oh, look at you from the cheap sheets.
Thank you. See, she knows what's up. All the products you guys get, it took me like a long time to get something. A phone charger. That's what I get.
And and you could tell from the tone that wasn't good enough. Like, nope. There needs to be more.
You were on your second bike now, getting all kinds of free crap for it, and I get a phone charger.
I am working for it.
Why don't you edit some videos?
I am working for it.
Why don't you do a little bit less of this and some editing videos?
You don't want me to start doing that. It's just like fixing crap. When I do it good, you're gonna be like, okay, never mind.
Jason Busey, member for 20 months. What's
20 months? Is he the longest running member?
There was a bunch of them that joined at the same time, so we can't.
I feel like he might be one of the oldest. I feel like Jason might need a reward just for being the oldest member. But I don't have anything big enough to fit his big ass.
He's a big dude.
Do you have a big head? Jason, seriously, do you have like a bigger than normal head?
Bro, look at his picture.
Because I have a hat that's abnormally big.
What hat?
I don't know how I got it, but I have a Baggers and Brews hat that's like, it's large. It's like big. It's in
just one random hat
yes.
Bigger than everybody all the other hats you had.
Because I ordered hats. This was before we got them from this dude. I ordered them from the company that we had ordered hats from a couple times. Lid Launch, which is now like not Lid Launch. They got sued and it's called something else Launch. And I ordered a hat and they sent me the wrong size and it was a big size. And it's like, it's a big size. Like it's over my head like a freaking sack.
Your head's too small for it?
Yeah, big time.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm just wondering, I wear a size 8.5 hat. So if you get one of those like flex fits, like what would that be? Like a double X?
8.5 what inches? Do you have to like
Big Gib NJ, thanks for hanging out, man. And I will definitely see you. I'm planning to go, assuming it's not pouring rain that day. I'm going on the 7th. George is just learning about this like in the last 20 minutes, so he'll figure out if he can go or not. But I plan on going. Piney Princess won't be there because she's got better things to do. But I look forward to seeing you. 2XL Flex Fit. This hat might fit you. I might have to reach out to you. I might have to send this to you.
Why don't you measure the inside in inches, like around, and then tell him what it is. And
measure the inside in inches around. Yes. Is that how they do that?
Well, you can put a tape measure around your head. I have one of those fabric tape measures. I measure your head in inches.
All right. Well, I'll figure it out because I got to get rid of this hat. And if it fits Jason, I'd love him to have it because he's one of our oldest members. He joined. I remember the night we announced it on a live. And I feel like Jason was the first one to freaking all of a sudden pop in there with a green tab saying he was a member. So I think he might have been our first member.
So while we're hanging out in here, we got 30, 40, 39, 40 people in here. We do have the membership program. You could click the join button down below if you're interested. But what else did we start? We started something else.
You brought it up. You talking about you awkward.
He's playing off of you. They started a podcast.
I would think that all the 42 people in here probably know already.
I'll bet you there's somebody in here who did not know. So
we did. We started a podcast. So George and I, thank you, Gremlin. Man,
Thanks,
you have to do that. Appreciate it. So obviously, I mean, we're both, really into motorcycles and riding and then that lifestyle and beer, obviously, Baggers and Brews. We're into the craft beer. But we have other interests too and other different things that we want to talk about. And it's one of those things where you don't want to flood. When you have a channel about motorcycles, you don't want to flood it with, topics that aren't related. So we decided to start a podcast, which is not officially connected to Baggers and Brews. It's its own little entity, and it's called This American Ride. So you guys can shut up for a second and drink.
I have to tell him twice.
Okay.
I'm empty. I have to go get more.
Okay, can you get me one too?
That's mine.
Then grab me one of the other ones.
I actually buy this for me, and then that's what you drink.
Well, I like it too. So back to what I was saying before Gremlin yelled at me, and then you spouted off. So we started a podcast, and it's something that we can kind of talk about anything from politics to men's mental health to men's physical health to anything that kind of pertains to the average American Joe. We can talk about. And
Night, Chris Penis.
Jason, thank you. She's got the phone charger already, for crying out loud.
Thank you, Jason.
We'll put that towards your headlight. All right, we'll put that towards your headlight.
Thank you.
We'll
talk about that in 6 more months when I finally get it.
No, we're gonna get that this winter, and we'll get that on. She needs tires, a headlight, and then those turn signal lights. Those are the 3 things we got to get you this winter. But yeah, so we started this podcast. It's doing well, I think, for a podcast. I mean, I don't know what the expectations is, but it seems like it's getting solid views on the platforms, and then it's got its own YouTube channel. So if you're on here and you haven't, definitely go to This American Ride YouTube channel and subscribe to that to help us out. And watch it on there, but it's obviously on all the other places you can get it, like Spotify and Apple, and what I don't even know the names of the other ones. Like those are the only 2 I know: Spotify and Apple.
There's a bunch of them. Podbean.
I like YouTube.
Thanks, baby. Because you want to see my pretty face.
I do. I want to see both, like your facial expressions while you talk.
Yeah, and I like watching podcasts that way too, but it is cool to be able to listen to it in the car on like Spotify or whatever, which I do sometimes.
You do.
Member for a year, 1 month, and 13 days. So is that consecutive, Droop, or is that with breaks in between? Don't be bragging if you have breaks in between, bro. But we still love you and appreciate you. The lives are a lot more fun than what? Than our podcast. Thanks a lot. The podcast sucks. I just want to watch lives. Dinner time with the Queen. You guys have a great night. Dinner time.
20 minutes ago.
Listen, eat your freaking Hungry Man TV dinner, and then come on back. We'll be here.
I just posted the link for the podcast there in the
talk
chat.
about doo-doo.
My doo-doo? What?
Jason heard you. I heard you. Jason heard
My
you.
doo-doo?
Yes.
Oh, look, Wokey said he found it on the Google Android Auto podcast.
He missed.
So, and then real quick.
And I was like, oh, you do, and you just blew me off. But Jason heard you.
Hilarious.
We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio, Amazon Echo, Overcast, Podbean, and a couple.
Yeah, we're definitely
Never heard of that.
There's on a couple of small ones.
Look, we're always interested and looking for different topic discussion ideas, different things, to make, to talk about. So you guys have suggestions, obviously you can let us know on any of our Baggers and Brews, accounts, because it's related. But you can also send us an email at thisamericanride1776 @gmail. That is the official email for the podcast. You can, if you have an idea or something that you think we should talk about or that you would be interested in hearing us talk about, throw it up there.
Good. I'm emailing you right now.
What did you think of Fury Customs Road Glide 3 with fat front tire? I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. And again, I'm into the Road Glide 3. I am not there. I am not ready to buy one. I am not nowhere near close to having one, but I think they look sick. And I love a fat front tire, especially on a Road Glide. I think as good as the fat front tire looks in general, I think it looks the best on a Road Glide. Now, we have our friend Austin who has one on his Road King. I've seen them on Street Glides. So I've seen them on all of the 3 different platforms. And I think it looks the coolest and the sickest on a Road Glide. But yeah, I thought it looked awesome. I loved it. If I was in the market for that, I'd be all over that. And I think it looks great.
I kind of find it odd that they don't have the Fat Tire Road Glide 3 on their website. I was just browsing through here right now.
Maybe they sold it.
Yeah, usually they keep like pictures of bikes though that they build.
I don't know. Again, like I 100% agree with George in the sense that I would prefer if that RG3 had a tour pack.
Yeah.
I don't like that it doesn't have that. I think it looks sick and looks amazing without it, but I feel like I hope they progress to the point where they somehow incorporate that by the time I'm ready to need one, because when I want one, I'm going to want I want a tour pack. I mean, like you said, it's just you don't have the saddlebags. All you have is that little trunk. And I prefer the setup of the way the Tri-Glide or whatever they call the Batwing one is. And that trunk opens like a door and it has a tour pack on top, because it's just you need that space.
If you
have a freaking 3-wheeler, you probably are cruising with a back seat. So that means more luggage, more stuff that you have to, take around. Like you need that space. So it just doesn't seem like enough on the new RG3,
and the tour packs are so much more comfortable for the passengers than just a backrest. It's back a little bit further than a backrest. It gives a little bit more room, and you're gonna be doing long rides. I understand why they switched it up. It's so unlike Harley to switch
you throwing out some backhanded compliments. Look at you. I'll take it, man. I'm all right with it. I'll get you a drink, baby. You want one?
Trek says he's going to build a tour pack for the seat that folds forward.
Did you put that in there?
No. What is it? What did you put in there?
I put it empty in the fridge when I went to get it.
Oh, you tard.
I ain't drunk. You're drunk. Ha! Thought, little trunk. Holy crap. That little
fit
trunk.
Three 30 packs, 2 6-packs, and 3 bags of ice.
Sweet. Possibly. If I was driving to the field around the corner to get drunk, but if I'm going on a trip, I'm going to have clothes and camera gear and shoes. You don't
need all that. You just need 330 racks, 2 racks or rocks.
Racks. Look right there. It's right there. I know that looks mumbled. That over there looks better.
What are 330 rocks?
Well, I don't know. 330 rocks.
330 rocks.
Sounds cooler.
That's a TV show.
Bob completely ignored my text message. Wait till I see him tomorrow. In the Discord. No, I won't be seeing him. So cams is so. Do you know what kind of cam you want?
I do. I don't remember the number offhand, but we're gonna.
So how did you figure out what you wanted?
Well, I mean, there's 2 cams. There's the torque cam for the lower end, and then there's the the power cam for the higher end, and I'm just going to go with the torque cam. I don't need all that power up around 80, 90 miles an hour. I want that power when I'm in second gear going around a corner 2 up, or we're doing some kind of riding where, there was a lot of times on Iron Mountain Road, you talk to John, he was 2 up and he was pulling out of those turns. He can pull out of turns now, he said, in second gear, whereas you get on some of those tight roads and you got to be in first gear.
Right.
So it does make a big difference. And the power curves it's just crazy on the 114. Yeah. It gives you so much more on the 114.
Hold 1 second while I'm thinking of it. I know we had a few people watching on Facebook tonight. I don't know if you're still watching. I can't tell. I don't know if there's a way to tell. But if you're watching on Facebook, we totally appreciate you guys watching on Facebook. But if you're not, we would really appreciate you going to YouTube and giving us a subscribe over there, because that really helps us out. You can watch it on Facebook all you want. Excuse me. But it would be nice if you subbed us. We'd appreciate it if you're enjoying it. If not, then it's a moot point.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. It won't hurt you. Just hit a sub and then never come back. That's fine.
That's right. You don't have to watch
Anyway,
it.
back to cams.
So
with a hinge. Can you get a cam?
Can I get a cam?
I'm sure you can.
Why don't we maybe start with an exhaust?
Yeah, you probably have to get an exhaust first.
I mean,
it probably would be necessary.
Well, I like the way mine sounds.
And don't get a cam.
I know.
What, are you getting a cam for performance?
I don't know. Just looking for shit to get on my bike.
We got plenty of things to get on your bike. And then we need to
I don't need my phone holder.
Oh, Kelly B is black. Yeah, I'm loving my 3030
Star Racing cam. With the torque cam.
Huh. And you're on... I'm going to sound like I never watch this stuff. I feel like he's on a Road Glide.
Yeah. 468.
468. Is that the Redshift?
Yeah.
Who?
Yep. 468 Redshift.
What's that? What are you talking about?
It's just...
What's the...
Drew, who's Drew? Why is Drew bullying Dallas?
Is Drew bullying Dallas?
I don't know. Dallas said he was. That's all that matters nowadays is an accusation.
That's his truth.
Just go full stage 2. What does that mean?
Well, full stage 2 is a cam exhaust, air cleaner, and a tune. I mean, that is full stage.
Right.
2.
So all that we have left to do is the cam for stage 2.
Yeah. So stage 3 would be figureheads. Cycle Roma 480 cam. I had the 468. It's okay. There are better cams available than the 468.
I love Justin.
68, 69, whatever it takes.
470.
So Cycle Roma 480 cam. This is the thing, right? Like, this is one of those topics if you bring up. Like, you can't go on Facebook or anywhere on like a motorcycle page and ask for suggestions, because you're literally gonna get 75 different suggestions, and everybody that suggests it's gonna have a great like explanation why. Yeah. So it's gonna leave you like, well, I don't know. Like, what do I do?
The thing about them is 95% of those people have never had experience with anything other than what they have. So how are you supposed to know what's
cam wise?
Yeah. It's like,
I mean that's true. Like, for example, like us, right? So we said, let's say we throw a cam in there this winter. Like, someone asks, like, why would we really have an opinion? All we can really have an opinion on is the one that we have. Like, we don't know if it's the best one to get, or, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not someone who's had and experienced multiple, like, you probably shouldn't give advice.
Yep. Kelly B. Glide says his 30-30 is the 480.
Well, I'm saying that George and I should probably get different ones.
But then you'd
For
have
the
to
channel.
ride each other's bikes.
Why do we have to ride each other's bikes?
Well, don't you have to test it out to see which one you like?
No, he can go up. He can explain.
But again, you're still going off of the one that you have.
No, we're gonna have two different ones that we can both speak on. The one that we
Right.
have.
You have one. He has one. You're talking about the one you have. He's talking about the one he has. But you were saying to have an opinion, you need to have multiple. So you need to have tried at least two.
Okay, so I guess I have to ride George's bike, and he has to ride
Or
mine.
yes.
Only problem is he's not allowed to ride mine. So I have to ride his and mine for him, and then I'm still biased.
Killing me.
I was doing what Alice asked me to do. Here comes these squabbling little children. And do indeed remind him of something. Somehow that translates to pulling out little guys. Listen, short shaming is not cool in 2023, bro. My 30-30 can is a 485 cam. And this, like, I don't want to sound like a tart box, but that means nothing to me. I don't know what that means.
Sometimes you can't help it.
But I'm honest. I'm not going to sit here and BS you and act like I know what you're talking about. Like, okay. I don't know anything about cams. I want a cam. Here's what I want my cam to do. I want it to make my bike sound disgusting. I want it to sound mean as hell. And then I want torque. I want torque off the line. I want low-end torque. Because like George said, I'm not really worried about the power at like 80, 90 miles an hour. It's already there. It's already plenty. As far as what I've noticed.
Try to pop wheelies?
No.
You want power off the line.
You want power at lower
30.
speeds. I want power in lower gears. That's when you're like getting around people. That's when you're like doing your like defensive riding, stuff like that. So I want the torque down there, and I want it to sound sick. That's what I want it to sound. I want it to make it sound badass. So sound is number one, and then the low end torque is number two, and that's what I want.
You want a number two.
So I don't know what torque I don't know what cam that is. So I'm gonna have to find an expert to tell me. And George is speechless. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I thought I kind of described what I feel like I described what he wanted, just in a different verbiage.
I mean, nothing sounds like a bike with with a cam in it. I mean,
right?
That's for sure.
It's gonna give you that freaking idle. That's just freaking ridiculous, you know.
Yep.
I really want enough torque to slingshot me
around the semis and the highway like Hulk Hogan, Whiplash, and Ric Flair.
Well, I don't know if they make a torque strong enough for that, Jason, with your big head. With your big 4X head.
We were just talking about Hulk Hogan. He just got remarried.
Yes.
He's 70 and he married a 45-year-old. This is his third marriage. And what did I say? He wasn't that good looking in the 80s. But
he's Hulk Hogan. He doesn't need to be good looking.
I know, but you know what I said? You know who was?
Yeah, this freaking
Macho Man.
This blind, cross-eyed retard over here thought Macho Man was hot. That dude had stringy long hair and cross eyes, and that's why he wore freaking those big glasses.
But he was so cool in those big glasses.
He was cool, but don't say he was good looking.
What are they called? The ones that everybody wears now.
Well, now they're like vipers.
Pit vipers. Yeah, pit vipers. He had pit vipers
before anybody else. But he also had stringy long hair. And his eyes.
It doesn't matter.
And when he opened, he was like, his eyes were like.
That's why I never took him off.
16 different directions.
And he was like,
he did have a hot chick though. What happened to her? He killed her, didn't he?
No,
he killed her.
She killed herself.
I heard he killed her.
He didn't kill her. You leave Macho Man alone.
Rumor was he killed her.
That's not the rumor. You just made that up.
That's what rumors are all about.
She's dead. He's dead. Let that be.
They're in hell together. Good night, Nerdy Poo. Strange. Is he
going to bed or is he saying goodnight to someone?
So we talked about your accent color.
Pink, right?
I want to know more about your vision for this accent color.
You guys talking to me?
Yeah. So you don't have to say what the color is. Right? But like what?
Yeah.
what thing? Because like I've thrown things out there, and you like didn't really say yes or like what kind of things would you make that color? Like what parts would you do that accent in?
I don't know yet. It's
You haven't thought about it?
I mean, here and there. I'd like to do the bolt covers or the what are those, like those bolt gussets?
Like
What
on
are
the
those?
motor or on the
Like on the motor.
okay. Like
Those are
you're
cool.
talking about the chachos that I was telling you?
Yeah, the chachos. That's what they're called. So
Chachos.
You made that up.
I did not make that up.
no,
baby.
that's actually the name of it. So they would be cool. I mean, I'm not going to do anything with the seat, obviously.
It's not racist. It's a Mexican company.
Chachos.
They named it that. I made that up. I don't know. It's CM.
What are chachos?
It's CM something. Hold on. I'm going to get you the name.
Chachos.
Because they're
Look
badass.
that up because that's a made up word.
It's not a made up word.
Chachos?
Just because it's a word you're not familiar with doesn't mean it's made
like
up.
what you'd call women's boobs or something. Chachos.
Is that what he says late at night? Is that why you think that word's made up?
No, that just sounds like what he would have said for it. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh no. Chuchos.
Chuchos, chachos, same thing.
I'm gonna
It's not
find them.
Chuchos.
What's that company?
BMC Motorcycle Company. Santoro Chachos billet engine bolt kit. Chachos. You got it now? You okay? So check it out.
Wait.
Hold on. I want to show you a picture.
$300.
Yeah, they're
For some
expensive.
chachos?
But look at it in red, dude.
What are the chachos?
So they're like a
There's a lot of red there. What's
so
just these two things?
no. So what it is it's a it's like a what do you call it? So it's a little
It's like a collar that goes around a bolt, and they give you a longer.
yeah. So you have the bolt, and the bolt goes through it, and it gives you. It's almost like a spacer, but it like adds the color. So you can see there.
$300.
So that's what it looks like.
Spacers?
So your bolt went through that and added that. So if you so imagine mine by with because you can buy the black bolt with a black bolt.
$300
Jesus Christmas.
for some color? Why don't you take them off and spray paint them?
Because they're not on your bike to begin with. It's added.
I'll tell you what.
You can't buy black ones for like $5
No.
for free. Come on.
Fucktard.
Chachos are $300.
That shit looks sick.
Paid for that.
So you get the whole set. So it looks like that. Like if you bought that, you'd get all these bolts that you replace the ones that you have. So there they are, right there. Bang. BMC Chachos, Santoro Chachos. They are sick looking. I think it's a great accent piece.
Yeah.
And yeah.
See, Droop's with me. $300 for washers.
Uh-huh.
Donkulous.
Well,
you know.
No.
There's people with show bikes, and then there's other people.
You could spray paint yours. I'll put the chachos on mine, and we'll just park them next to each other.
We'll compare. We'll line them up next to each other, and we'll see if yours.
Chi-Chi's, Chachos, Chicones. Yep, it's all the same. Too expensive. Too expensive.
This is why you don't have a headlight. She's like, headlight? $300?
I need a headlight.
I got a candle. I don't need a headlight.
I got a flashlight
anyway. I don't need a headlight.
I just need more reflectors inside the headlight. Inside my candle.
I can't. Dude doesn't even know exactly. Dude doesn't even know what accent means. He thinks it's his southern accent.
Devil's Head Chopper in Colorado makes magnetic bolt covers. Only takes a few minutes. Comes in every color. I mean, that's another.
Devil's Head Choppers in Colorado makes magnetic bolt covers. Yeah, I mean, it's a totally different.
Are they cheaper than $300?
It's a totally different piece.
For how many bolts do you
get? It's a magnetic The whole thing for the engine, like all the bolts in the engine.
There's like.
I don't know if they're anodized or not. Should it say
bolts.
they're anodized?
$300.
I see at least 28, if not more.
Yeah.
I don't know how many you need.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like that, and that engine kit it's a lot of pieces, man.
That's the rocker box. I'm not gonna add that. I'm not gonna add hand controls.
I'm gonna do the math.
Let's go candy coated red.
Uh-huh.
Let's go bolt cover black,
uh-huh.
which is extra, by the way. I'm not gonna tell you how much extra.
$425.
Bike model.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the black bolt. You gotta get the black bolts too. I mean, otherwise, why do it?
$425.
All right, divided by how many do you get in that pack?
I don't know. It doesn't tell you.
You gotta read.
Why don't you real quick, Caroline? Why don't you go out to the garage?
Go out to the garage and then walk all the way to George's house where my bike is, and then count the bolts. Listen, you 34 bastards still out here. It doesn't tell you how many, baby.
It has to tell you how many.
No, it doesn't have to tell you.
I want to know how many I get.
It's all of them.
All right. Let's say I get 30.
Oh my God.
Let's say that is $14 a bolt.
Yeah.
This is like government money.
Yeah, that's like government airplane money.
That's government airplane money. $14 a bolt.
100%.
And you can go into Lowe's or Home Depot and buy that bolt for
I'm not looking for the bolt. I already have the bolt. I don't care about the bolt.
Spacer?
You're missing the point.
Spacer. You can't buy the spacers anywhere?
It's looks. It's an accent piece. There's so many things you add to a motorcycle to make your bike look better that you don't need.
Okay.
But you're crying about some bolts.
Yes, because you don't need it.
All the stuff I put on my bike, I don't need.
$14.
You actually don't need anything other than what you buy your bike at the store. You don't need anything.
That's true.
So every dime you spend after that is a waste of money.
That's what I've been trying to tell you for how many years now.
And that's why we're getting a divorce. We're announcing it tonight. We're getting a divorce.
Because your bike.
Because she doesn't understand what we need for our motorcycles.
You don't need versus wants. It's different.
No, my needs and wants are one and the same.
Oh. I'll bet you there's 70 bolts in that kit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not showing you how many there are.
Okay, fine.
99 Argue Grad says there's 48. I don't know where he came up with that number.
I trust
now
him.
do the math at 48. Do the math at 48.
Divided by 48.
That's not the number.
$85 a bolt.
$8 a bolt?
Yes.
You know how much they spend? You know how much the military puts on every bolt on their airplanes?
This isn't a military aircraft.
Well, my bike's more important than the military aircraft.
No, it's not.
It is to me.
Whatever. It's worth $8 a bolt. Hold on.
That's not even how you spell Texan. Moose.
That's kind of how you spell Texan.
Charged for bolts. 16 cents. And then they spray painted a color. And
it's not the bolt that we're worried about.
The spacer. Fine. Whatever you want to call it. The little piece of metal that you can get.
It's not even there. Unless they add it.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Can you make the spacer?
You can't buy that anywhere else in the world except that website?
I have no idea.
You haven't even looked. That's the point.
Because
they put it on their website and they call it Chachos or whatever the heck it's called.
How many companies do you think on the planet are making that for the bike, for motorcycles, for Harley Davidson?
I don't know. I didn't even
think
know
about it.
Exists.
Think logically. You're a smart woman. How many companies on the planet do you think are making that little piece
7.
for a motorcycle?
7.
Now find me the 7.
I don't know. What's that bolt called? What's it called?
Chacho.
That company calls it a Chacho.
No.
And they're Mexican.
Okay. What does that mean, you racist?
That's the Mexican company. There's 6 other companies.
I want you to find me the other companies.
How do you say Chacho?
You figure it out. Like, what? You tell me what that part is.
Did she just say, how do you say Chachos?
Yes.
How do you say Chachos in English?
That is English.
That's a Mexican word. That's Spanish.
I don't even think Chachos.
I'm glad we don't have any Mexican people in the side chat.
The Chacho.
Wait, we do. Dallas.
Why?
How do you say?
Moose is in Texas.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to speak it.
Chachos is a Spanish word. Chachos.
Muchachos.
That's chachos.
Piney knows what's what, like Macho Man knows beef
See?
jerky. What a kiss
I
ass.
put in chachos and tacos.
It's the HD.
Chachos tacos.
It's not even HD part, bro. What are you talking about?
See, Piney knows what's up. You spend your $8 on your little spacer bowl. I'll find them cheaper.
Spacer bowl? What does that mean?
I'll find them cheaper.
I'm going to. I'm spending $425 on your money on them.
No, you're not.
You entertain the people.
Chachos tacos come up.
Gremlin's last name is Gonzalez. There you go.
Oh, now you offended Gremlin. Good job.
Does
Cameron.
Gremlin speak Spanish? Does he know what chachos means? I can't even spell it. CH.
Well, you gotta say it first. Sound it out.
Chachos. Chachos. It's all related to food.
I'm gonna tell you what it means real quick.
Mexican takeout. See, there's something very wrong here when they're trying to sell you some metal spacers that are named after Mexican takeout. I'm just saying, I wouldn't purchase from that company.
Why not?
KFC. Did you Google it?
I'm looking at it in Google Translate right now. So chachos is a noun, which synonym is muchachos, which translates as boys.
Boys?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And all I find on Google for chachos is food. So they just totally are scamming you people.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're like, we're scamming the gringos to buy stuff that we call chachos.
Our bikes can look cool, and you can follow us down the road because you can't see with your headlight.
That's why I ride the
guys,
day. It doesn't
are
matter.
you girls bickering?
Doesn't matter.
All right, so let's switch to another topic. Short for muchachos. So
if Dallas was a muchacho, we would just call him Chacho.
Well, because he's shorter than most of the muchachos.
Yes.
So you don't get the
Actually, now that we know Gremlin is 5'6", he's also a Chacho.
Huh. So here's my question.
I got everybody thinking
right.
and questioning, though. That's all I wanted to do. Just think about how much you're spending per bowl.
Now it gets good. So Bert wants to buy a bunch of little boys for $300. That's the best comment tonight.
Who's this person? Who is this person? Blocked, banned. Where's the block button?
No, he's technically 425.
I'm kidding. So here's a question I have for you, George.
Here we go.
So when it comes to motorcycles and motorcycle trips or motorcycle vacations, what's on the top of your list of motorcycle trips, motorcycle vacations that you have not already done that you would like to do?
Jason,
I put you on the spot.
I know, but I'm
the Chacho kit, and we're gonna nix. We already have a phone charger for her, so we're gonna put the other 20 towards my Chacho kit. F her headlights. She follows me anyway. She doesn't need one. It's like Austin with his big souped up motor. You don't need all that speed. You follow me anyway. Where are you going?
I do want to get back to Arizona. I mean, not Arizona, to Arkansas. We really liked Arkansas. It was, we rode in the pouring rain through Arkansas. But probably Route 66 for motorcycle trips.
You just said Arkansas.
You know?
I don't think he heard you.
No, I heard it.
I get back to Arkansas.
Yeah.
I want to do
okay.
66.
So I want three. So Arkansas and riding in Arkansas is one.
Mm-hmm.
Anything specific, like any rallies, or just being in Arkansas?
Do you want to go to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue?
That's so ever changing. It's hard with them because that whole rally is changing constantly, and adapting to where it's at and who's like running it.
Well,
So
I mean, do you want to go to that area just any time of year and just ride
I mean,
Arkansas, or do you want to
probably if I was going to plan to go to any rally in Arkansas, it would probably be Lake of the Ozarks, because that seems to be the one that's in Missouri, I guess. Is that Missouri? But that's still like that's all to me. It's all kind of part of the same area, region of riding, and we were out there. We rode from one state to the other. I mean, it's all kind of together. So, but I would like to go out and ride, the Pig Trail when it's nice, not in the monsoon of pouring rain that we did. That would be cool. Arizona Bike Week is a big one, that obviously Atwell's been to and he really likes, but 66 would be the thing to ride. I mean, I feel like that's what's left of that is probably one of the greatest pieces of American 2-lane that goes across the country that, probably not the most exciting riding,
I'm
but
torn on that one. Now that I have the RV, I'm torn on how I would want to do that trip. I mean, I definitely want to do it. I want to do 66. I'm just like torn on whether I want to be like on the bike or if I want to be in the toy hauler and have the bikes and like do sections, like almost like have a base camp and then do part of it and do the area and take my time and see like the attractions and then come back to the RV. Or like, I don't know. But I definitely, I'm with you. I want to see it. I want to do it. I want to experience it. It is a huge piece of American history.
Yeah,
that I think is kind of getting like left behind and like forgotten about.
Yeah, and right. I mean, one of those perfect things. I mean, when I get this company sold and I'm not working like I'm working right now, to take a month and like do that just on the bike would be probably a really cool experience. Because then you could take your time, go out through Route 66, come up to PCH, and see some of the Pacific Northwest, and maybe like come back and land in Sturgis for the rally and ride home from there. That would be, I mean, that would probably be like a dream motorcycle trip.
It's tough because like I want to do it on the bike, right? But I feel like to get the full effect, you got to just get on the bike and ride, right? So you got to ride from here to Chicago, pick it up in Chicago, and then ride all of Route 66, and then it goes to Santa Monica Pier in California.
Right.
If you take the camper, that gives you a place to stay, to sleep, but how do you ride that when you do that? So that's our...
Jason has an answer for you.
No.
Jason has an answer. It's not an answer for her though.
I would ride it. I don't get to. Why am I stuck in the truck again? I did that on the way to Sturgis. We were in the van.
Whoa.
I mean, it's a.
Whoa! Do not say stuck. You chose that route.
I did.
Yo, you weren't stuck in the van. You could have rode.
Why didn't
There was nothing.
You heard her.
I'm not letting this one go. You could have rode.
I wanted to ride the whole way. You could have rode it. Why I didn't want to?
No, what did I say? I'll be fresh to death when I got there, and I was fresh to death.
I just
fresh to death.
I was like, let's go. I want to ride, and you guys were like, I'm so tired. I just want to sleep.
Top of lower 48.
So yeah, Justin's planning on going like the opposite route, so going across the upper down the PCH, and I mean that would be.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a trip that her and I have discussed, doing kind of the giant loop and going 66 and then going up the coast and then coming back through the north and all the way and ending up for Sturgis Rally. Like that's definitely a trip that we've discussed a lot. It would take a ton of planning and a ton of money and a ton of time off. But what a trip that would be.
It's hard because you can't it's hard to plan taking the camper and trying to ride a bike.
Oh, you just pissed your girl off.
Talk to drunk Carolyn because sober Carolyn didn't say that.
And it's Kathy when she says stuck. Don't take offense.
I mean,
you know who she's talking about.
Justin's got another point here, and hit the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is another piece of the country that I'd love to hit for riding.
So that's 2. No, so you said Arkansas, you said Route 66, Upper Peninsula.
But you would like hit the you could hit the Upper Peninsula like going across, doing that big loop. You could hit that Upper Peninsula.
True.
Yeah.
True. But that big loop is, I don't want to say not possible, but it's kind of a dream that to actually do would require a ridiculous amount of planning and sacrifice to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Your best bet is that you're gonna do different segments of that at different times. I mean, realistically, short of being rich and not having to work.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
but like,
realistically.
No, but I'm saying if you have the camper, right?
Well, I mean, if you have the camper, it can work remotely.
Yeah, but you can't like ride it and then take your camper at the same time. It's just hard. So that's our dilemma. We're like, we want to ride it, but we have a camper, so.
That's why people like with somebody with an RV or a camper is going to go and they're going to make camp, right? And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to spend like a let's say a week or more at that spot where your camper's parked. And then you're going to branch off from there on the bike and go however many miles at a good over distance in every direction that you can. And
I would rather
that's
ride
your hub.
It though. I'd rather not take the camper.
That's great, but riding it the whole way is like logistically, realistically, I don't know how you would do that.
Why?
It's a lot of riding.
Hotels on the way.
How much time off do you need to do that?
About a month, like Justin said.
A month. So your job,
if you want to do a loop, no.
At what point in reality, in the world of real life, would you get a month off from your job?
I don't.
Right.
But I don't so what do you do?
But you can work from home.
Yeah, but if I'm working anyway, right, remotely, I still have to I can't just take a Tuesday and ride around. I have to.
It would be
park.
So we could realistically do it. And it would be like 6 months.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we could creep our way along it.
Creep it, right.
We could creep our way along it, working along the way and riding on our off time and do it. That's the only way we could realistically do it. Because otherwise, when are you getting? But neither of us. Okay, I have plenty of time on vacation, but I'm still don't have 2 months.
But let's say you don't get the time off and you don't take your camper and you get could you do it in 2 weeks? Just riding.
I think you could ride it in 2 weeks.
Right.
I don't think you would experience much of it.
Other
than riding and just straight up riding, you'd be riding nonstop.
Are you talking just Route 66 with 2 weeks, or what are you talking about?
Just Route 66.
But then you got to get home from the back end.
Okay. So
you got to go from. So you're going from here, you going from the East Coast to the West Coast and back
in
2 weeks, and taking in that Route 66 portion of it. You're not.
All right. Well, could you do it in 3?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, if you had this
side chat, can you do it in 3? Anybody done it? Is there anybody here that's done Route 66? I haven't been paying attention to the side chat while we've been talking about this. People might have been like, "No, you idiots, do this."
So it's 2,000. It's 2,034 miles from Chicago to Santa Monica. Right. So we'll call it 2,000 miles.
So that's just
divide that. So if you did 200 miles a day, it's 10 days.
And then you're adding in the fact that we're coming from New Jersey, and you got to get
to Chicago, which is at least a day.
That's what I'm saying. That's just Route 66. So it's going to be
10 days just to do Route 66, and that's just driving 200 miles a day.
And that's 200 miles is nothing. So I mean, that's me taking into consideration you're going to stop, see sights. That is just about a tank of gas a day.
Yep.
That's not a lot of riding.
You might do more than that because you don't have much to see in certain sections, right?
Right. But I mean, I don't think you're going to do less than 200 miles in a day.
Right.
And some days,
I haven't researched
So
it.
10 days for Route 66. How many days is it?
day and a half to Chicago.
Okay. I think you can get to Chicago in a day if you really wanted to.
Well, it depends. Well, for 2 Up, I think 2 Up to Chicago. For me, 2 Up to Chicago in a day would be a stretch.
Yeah.
For you,
What? What does 2 Up have to do with it?
No, we can't. It took 9 hours to get to Virginia, West Virginia. So no, I don't think we're making.
We were in a downpour.
I'm just saying. Yeah, but you don't know what you're going to encounter. Say a day.
Okay,
to get to
but
Chicago,
when you make the plans, you don't.
It takes
you're not,
6 hours in a car to get to Pittsburgh, which is on
So,
the other side of PA.
We got to what point? We got to the border of.
we got to Western Ohio in a day.
We got to the border of Ohio in a day.
Right.
You're talking about getting to Chicago,
And that wasn't exactly hauling ass.
No, but
Right.
2 Up, I'm gonna have to stop more 2 Up. I mean, 2 Up does make a difference. You can't say it doesn't make a difference.
No,
it does make a
Stacey
difference.
rides longer on the back of that bike than Glenn could ride on his own.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I mean, you can make a face, but that's a fact.
Yeah, I can make.
Her ass needs a rest, Bert. She said it. It's right there.
Well, you rest. You rest. Okay, rest. Your rests are too fucking long.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate to break it to you. All y'all's rests are too long.
Oh, whatever.
Your rests are like 45 minutes.
You're like a slave driver.
You need like 10 minutes.
I stopped and you're like, okay, let's go.
10
I'm
minutes.
like, I just got off
Rest. Get flow in the butt.
the bike.
Go.
I took a pee break just to get a rest because you were like, okay, you good? And I'm like, oh my God, I just stopped. I have to go to the
Okay,
bathroom.
fine. A day and a half. Whatever. A day and a half. All right. Fine. A day and a half. I was going to ask that. Point from back from California back to Jersey. How long's that?
That's
That was 3 days in the car.
Shut your pie hole. How long?
3 days in the car.
You haven't even done it. You've never even done it, and you're telling me 3 days.
I did it from Montana back in a car.
That's not California, mofo. Do you know how much further California is than Montana?
Yeah, and how long did Montana
So
take
you're
in a
saying 3
car?
days in a car. That's what you did from Montana. I'm talking California.
Yeah, it was okay.
Oh, yeah. Do the math.
It's longer. 4 days.
No shit.
4 days. You're very hostile.
No, because you're not. You're like, you don't compute.
You don't compute.
So that's
Don't compute.
4 days.
That's 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles. So how many days is that? Realistically.
Stacy said ship the bike back, but then I have to fly.
I ain't
I
shipping
don't wanna
nothing.
fly.
We're trying to calculate this with doing the whole thing on the bike. So 3,000 miles back from California realistically is 5 days.
500 miles a day is 6 days.
Oh, dang.
So that's the most.
Okay, 6 days. And what did you already calculate for the Route 66 itself?
2
10
weeks. Yeah, 10 days.
That's 16. And that's not the day and a half, 16, 17, 18. So
We're looking at 3
you're
weeks.
bare minimum 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Bare minimum. That's minimum.
I know.
3 weeks to
Which
do
is
that
why
trip
we haven't done that.
on the bike.
Yep.
I'm saying that's a lot of time. Most people who
Said
have
we can do it in
most
30.
people with
We
a
can do it in
full-time
30.
job can't get that much time off at once.
I know.
So that's why most people with a full-time job can't do it.
Yeah.
And that was why I was saying with an RV being able to work remotely, creeping might not be ideal and it might take a hell of a lot longer, but you do it without taking any time off of work.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
And you still get to experience it.
Has anybody that we know ridden it? Like, okay, I know the Badgers.
Well, the Badgers did Route 66. I don't know anything about it. I haven't followed them.
I haven't seen anybody.
I haven't seen any of their video. I haven't seen videos from it.
So
how that was.
Get to just
again, coming back, you might have days where you're gonna, do more than 500 miles. I mean, I'm looking at
but it's gonna balance out.
It's gonna balance out, and I mean, I'm looking at it from a 2 Up, perspective of I don't know. I think 2 Up we can cover 500 miles in a day, no problem. But again,
you can cover 500 miles in a day, no problem riding. But can you do 500 miles in a day, no problem, and stop and see the sights?
No.
Well, I think in some cases, some days you're going to do that, and some days you might not because you want to stop and see stuff. So, and the other thing that you're not accounting for is weather,
which you can't account for, and it's going to affect you no matter what.
Right.
Something's going to happen that you can't predict. Like,
right?
It's just every motorcycle ride does, or every trip really does. Any motorcycle or car, you're going to be affected by it. So,
I mean, weather is another factor that is going to cause you to maybe do some miles, less, some miles, some days shorter, some days longer.
I don't know. It's a trip I want to do. I'm dying to do. I mean, I'd love to just do it on a motorcycle, but I don't know how realistic that is work-wise. And you got to, not to mention, if you're doing it just on the motorcycle, how much you're going to spend in hotels as opposed to what you would spend at a campsite for an RV. Your price is going to be more on a motorcycle, and it's going to take you longer.
Oh yeah.
Or it's going to take you more vacation days. It might not take you longer, but you're going to take more time off of work.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of ways to do it, and more than one way to skin a cat kind of thing. But
I guess it just depends on what you want out of your trip.
I want to take my time.
If you just want to see everything, then you could do it in an RV. Bring your bike, ride around a little bit, I guess, but like really just drive along, camp, and then that's your quickest way to probably get through it.
It's hard because, I mean, ideally, like in the perfect world, I want to do it on the motorcycle. Obviously, I want to ride my motorcycle. I love a motorcycle road trip. I want to do it on the motorcycle, but realistically, which way am I more likely to be able to do it?
Yeah.
And everybody's different, right? And for us, knowing that we can both work remotely, it's more realistic that I would be able to just like slowly do it, creep along it, working during the day at a campsite, driving in the evenings, make, a couple 100 miles every night, and then working during the day and then driving a couple 100 miles and like just creep my way along it. And it's a lot longer time period that it takes to do it, but I didn't have to take nearly as much time off of work to do it.
Right.
So big bar cheese. World's largest ball of twine is underrated. Zero cooler bags. I don't know, man. It's my biggest bucket list ride. Like it's like doing that whole big giant loop and like you said, finishing. You're not finishing because I wouldn't be home yet, but like kind of a destination along the way would be to be stopped at Sturgis while Sturgis is going on, and then go home, and that would be my giant loop. It's a bucket list, but I feel like with an RV, it's more realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just got to commit to doing it, and if you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want to do it, you'll make excuses for why you can't do it.
Well, and I also feel like it's one of those trips that you need to it's tough to do it on a schedule. You know what I mean? It's like
no, you have to have a lot of flexibility and like kind of be like open.
A lot of times like we'll go on a trip and we book that like first night's hotel room and it's like we got to be here, by like when we go to Daytona, we know we're hitting whatever the hell Waltersboro, South Carolina. And like that's going to be Waltersboro is our stop on the way to Daytona, and that's where we're going to get to. And I feel like the way I would want to do that 66 trip is I would just want to go, and if there's stuff to see, stop and see it, and then go a little bit more. If there's stuff to see, stop and see it. If I get tired, get a hotel room. You know what I mean? So that, maybe you're a few days longer, maybe you're a few days earlier.
So, honest question.
Uh-huh.
I want an honest answer.
Uh-huh.
If right now in your driveway you owned an RV, would your answer be different to how you want to do it?
I kind of still would want. I'm torn. I get it, but I really think I'd want to ride it.
Yeah, I want to ride it.
I
feel like riding it would be so much cooler and much just more awesome of an adventure.
Yeah,
to ride it, and I want to ride it. I just worry about the logistics of it and the realisticness of it on a motorcycle.
I mean, there's some security knowing that, like, when you have a camper, if you can't find a campground for the night, you pull into a parking spot, and you know what I mean? You at least have a bed to lay in.
Right.
We've done that in a car where we didn't get a hotel room, and we got to pull into a rest area.
I worry about getting out.
That sucks. You're on a motorcycle.
I worry about getting
out
to some of those areas more western along that Route 66 route, being late, being tired, and not being able to find a place to sleep.
Well, that's why you need that flexibility, because it's like some days are.
Yeah, you need the flexibility, because some days you might have to call it a day early. Like, you might have to stop early, because if you time it up and you look at like how far you could get in the next 4 or 5 hours, where you're going to be and what's available, you might not be able to find something.
Yeah.
So you might have to call some days early. Require flexibility.
We did that coming back from Sturgis. I mean, look, when we hit Sioux City, Iowa, it was like stop in Sioux City, Iowa at like 5 o'clock or whatever the heck time we stopped in Sioux City, Iowa, or it was go to whatever the next stop was, which is going to be 10 o'clock at night. It was like we kind of found ourselves in the middle of nowhere, and we wound up stopping much earlier on the first day home of a ride, which we hate to do, because the next hotel that they could find in the van was going to be, another 4 or 5 hours out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened to us.
The more the more you're going to run into that, because things are few and far between.
We take
that for granted on the East Coast, because everything is so tight together that you can find, a gas station every 5 miles and, hotels every 10 miles. But you can't do that when you get out west.
Right. But even on the East Coast, you guys had a problem going to Florida with a hotel. So
not because we couldn't find them, because they were all full.
Yeah.
That was the difference, or they were $400 a night, and I'm not paying $400 to stop at 2 a.m. and leave again at 7. So it was like,
I mean, the combination, it's that 95 corridor, man, where they kind of got you by the balls. And they know what people are doing. I mean, let's be honest. They know people are traveling from the Northeast to Florida, and those hotels, they've jacked them up to a premium. And if they're not jacked up to a premium, they're full, because obviously people choose those. And they're hard to find. They're definitely hard to find on a random. It was just a random ass night. Like, it wasn't even anything special.
No, but you know what? What was that, 2021? So we were coming out of COVID. Everybody started traveling. I don't think people were flying as much because of the airlines and COVID and everything. So I think more people were driving, and it was just full hotels. I don't know that we're going to run into that issue now, but
I don't know. It's hit or miss along the highway, along a major thoroughfare like that. Like, it's hit or miss. Who knows?
But hotel prices have doubled in the last 4 years.
Yeah, hotel prices are insane, which is another reason why I want my RV, because the hotel prices have gotten just redonkulous.
You ain't telling me nothing I don't know. I'm in them every week, man. It's crazy.
They're $300, $400 a night.
Nuts.
For nothing special.
I was like $250 last night in a Marriott Courtyard. Tonight we're in a Renaissance. I think this was like $360.
$360.
Last week I was at the Westin in Memphis, and that was $5 and change.
Dang.
Courtyard in Tupelo was like $270 and change. Yeah, I mean, I'm all over the country. Tupelo, Mississippi, man.
Who the F goes to Tupelo, bro? Oh my God! If you're in a hospital in Tupelo, you probably just need to die. Just saying. I mean, your chances are slim. Just saying. The good doctors ain't coming here and staying at some $270 hotel. Just saying.
There were when I was in Tupelo, there were 3 couples on bikes that were headed to Lake of the Ozarks, and even they were like, "Holy shit, these hotels!" The guy was like, "I'm buying a toy hauler."
I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Anyone try those $20 a night biker B&B network stops?
Yep.
Trex Ducati. I don't know what the hell a Trex Ducati is. I don't know if this guy stumbled on the wrong channel.
Trex Ducatis.
I've been watching him for a long time now. He's chimed in a few times.
Has he? He's like, who are these retards?
What's his pronoun? Ducati.
I don't know, man.
What's the pronoun?
I have not. I know some people have stayed at those. What do they call them? The biker.
Where people like bikers lend their.
Yeah, what do they call those?
I forget what it's called.
So, like when Adam did his cross country ride to all those Harley dealers, did he just park on the side of the road and set up a tent
The first
for
time?
free? Yeah.
Yes.
Like he didn't ask
The
anybody.
first time,
just,
yes.
Yeah.
The first time he mostly just slept along his motorcycle, like in the rural,
in the grass.
like
Okay.
He started to have some people offer up
Bunka Biker.
Bunka Biker. That's what I was trying to think of. He started to have some people along the way offer up, like, you can come stay with me or you can stay on my property, stuff like that. He had that hit here and there along that trip. But for the most part,
he was like on the highway.
He was
just
pitching a canopy on the side of his bike and sleeping next to his bike with his dog. For the most part.
And he was showering in. He had a gym membership, one of the national gym memberships, and he would shower in the gym.
Yes, that's right. Oh, I got a cough.
So I mean, he stayed in the occasional hotel, I feel like, but for the most part,
here and there, but it was mostly when people would spring for him because he didn't have any money.
Well, that's what I mean. He would just like sleep next to his bike, essentially.
Yeah,
on the side of the road in grass.
Yep.
Basically, who's called a retard?
Well, you called people retards.
Who did I call a retard?
A couple people.
Well, he thinks you're calling Drew one.
I don't remember. Like, if you don't have it on like recording or video, like it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, this is all on recording or video, so
yeah, this will all be deleted as soon as we're done here. So I don't know what you're talking about. Shit.
Oh, he's got Ducati singles.
I have some old vintage Ducati singles I restored.
Now riding an RG3.
RG3, baby. What? I like the RG3. Give it to him.
Yeah, every time you see it.
I think they look dope. They look cool. I'm just not old enough or there or physically,
You're trying to say you gotta be old to ride it.
I mean, most people that ride a 3-wheeler are either older or they have a physical reason why. So, I mean, that's legitimate. It's not a knock. I'm not bashing anybody. I think they're dope. I would buy one now if I had extra money just to have it, but I'm not. I'm not built like that. Ducatis. Well, that's cool.
Hey, Triumph purists will say the same thing, and people chop up Triumphs all the time. I saw a rigid Triumph today in Newport. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. How were the lobster rolls?
Not bad. Not bad.
Like, is it as good as the ones we had in Maine?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anytime you get up into New England, I think you're, probably pretty on point.
Yeah. Well, that style, the style that we had, or at least the style I had, I don't remember what you had, was the Connecticut style anyway. The hot with the warm butter is considered Connecticut style. And then the main style is in like is more of it's cold and it's in like a mayonnaise base with like celery and stuff. It's more of like a shrimp salad would be, or like a salad like that. It's in that kind of, and then on the roll and cold.
Yeah, but
that's the main style. We got hot. We got Connecticut style
in Maine.
Yes, because that's the better style. I don't know how, and that's what I mean. We watched that the other night. I thought you saw it with me when Dave Portnoy did the review of the lobster rolls.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
I saw it.
Well, he was the same way. He was like, "What the heck? Like Maine? Like how do you let Connecticut like?" swoop in and steal the better lobster roll? Like you have the better lobsters. Like why are you letting them steal the better lobster roll? Like hot with the drawn butter is the freaking way to go. That should be what Maine has because Maine lobsters are the shit. That's what everybody wants. Like why would you let Connecticut steal the better lobster roll and you have this cold ass lobster roll with like some celery and mayonnaise based whatever? Yeah. Doesn't make any sense, but lobster roll warm with drawn butter is the way to go. I mean, that's
all I've ever had. I don't feel like if you gave me a lobster roll and mayonnaise, I would be like, you just ruined it.
I like mayonnaise, but that's just not like you don't need lobster. It's so good that you don't.
Right. I
like them. I like them both. I mean,
I like them both too, but if I'm having
right, and I don't think like
I'm like, okay, fine, throw some mayonnaise.
If someone threw the Maine lobster at me down here with the mayonnaise base whatever, like I'd eat it and probably be like, this is great. But I'm talking about if you compare the two, I don't see how I don't know. Hot, like I'm with Dave. Like when in the history of like food, if you're offering it to me hot as opposed to cold, like why would I take it cold? Like it's not ice cream. Like, why would I want it cold?
What I like in Rhode Island is the chowder. The New England clam chowder up here is good.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, it's where it came from.
Yeah. Well, because when you get New England clam chowder down by us, I feel like it's this thick, heavy kind of soup. You know what I mean? It's like really thick and creamy. And up here, it's obviously cream based, but it's so much thinner. It's more like a soup than it is like like what we get kind of our display. It's just a thinner broth.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And it's got corn in it.
Corn is the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Corn chowder.
So yeah, it's good stuff.
I wish I had some right now.
I bet you do. You could probably use some.
That'll just give me heartburn.
You want some guacamole, don't you?
Nah, I'd go for some rice and sausage, though.
I knew it.
Figures.
You put it in the fridge already, didn't you?
I did.
Damn you.
I said to you, you're going to want that later.
All right. Well, it is almost 11, and I know. So what time do you have your thing tomorrow?
I'm going to be at the hospital at 7 a.m.
Oh, dang.
7 a.m. and your flight's not till 4 a.m.?
You can hang out another
4
hour
p.m.
or
rather,
two.
I mean?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's got another hour.
That's how it happens. We don't always know what time those cases are when we book these flights. I mean,
don't need the option. That's okay, bro. Ideally, if we could afford 7
How
lobsters.
do you have a lobster roll not on a roll?
Well, he says eat it the right way without a roll.
But it's a lobster roll, and Maine is known for lobster rolls.
They're known for lobster.
Well, come on. Let's be real. They're known for lobster
don't listen
rolls.
to Wilkie, man. That guy will start a fight in a freaking
He
church.
won't fight with me.
You
won't fight with me, Wilkie.
He will.
No, he won't.
Cornbread is terrible.
Not.
I hate cornbread. It's so dry and shitty.
Well, you got to have good cornbread. I've had
good
cornbread.
You've told me here this is good cornbread. I've eaten it. I was like, oh, that's great. It tastes like freaking plywood.
It tastes like plywood.
Dry and shitty. Night Dorks, Night Dallas. We were going to bed as well. No, Maine is not known for. Shut your pie hole. They're known for lobster. Maine lobster. They're called
Right.
Maine lobster.
That's what he's saying. They're known for lobster.
No, he said no. Maine is known for lobster,
Yes.
not lobster rolls.
Okay, but how do you have a lobster roll not on a roll?
You don't, but he's just being difficult because that's what he does. What are you doing? You go to bed when you're told to go to bed. You don't even have a job. Like, seriously. Are you serious right now? Yes, I'm not. I do not like cornbread. Like, I've never had cornbread I liked.
Which is funny because you like corn and you like bread.
Right?
True.
But he doesn't like cornbread.
And neither of them do I like dry and crusty. Dry, crumbly. Every cornbread I've ever had is like choke bread. Like, it's like I needed.
Even the moist stuff, you're like, oh, it's so dry.
No, I've never had a moist cornbread. I've never had a good cornbread. Apparently, I've never had. Listen, DDK, I'll come down to your house. We'll hang out. We'll drink some drinks, and you can make me some cornbread. If you have some amazing cornbread, I'd love to try it. But I've never had any. You don't have a job. Stop it. Taking care of George is not a full-time job. Do not diss my friend like that. He's not even there. You're blaming him for some shit, and he ain't even there. What are you talking about? If that's your job, if taking care of George is your job, then you've had a whole week off. So now what? Now what? Shh. All right.
She's gonna make some cornbread.
I've had cornbread, bro. I've had it in your neck of the woods in Tennessee. It was dry and suck ass. Just give me a biscuit or a muffin or something. Don't bring me your corny dry bread.
Come on. I've had biscuits that were way worse than cornbread.
I know. They're there
You
too.
just don't like cornbread.
Fine. I don't like cornbread.
That's all. Just say it.
Shoot
Don't
me.
say, oh, it's because that
Cornbread sucks. But you know what? Know what doesn't suck? Cream of corn from Loveless
Cafe
in Tennessee. So I give you some credit. Tennessee corn, cream corn was the bomb with some chicken. I'm just saying, I'm dying to go back. Dying to go back. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. We've been at 3 hours.
Woo!
28 people still watching. We appreciate you guys.
Night,
It's not a short night.
You got till midnight before.
Okay, well, it's a shorter, but it's still a
short night.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Still a solid night. 3 hours in. I have someone else take care of. Oh, with the drama with this one. Do you need help? I'll come over tomorrow and help you out. You need help.
What you asked for, Stacey.
All right, I can't come tomorrow because I got a lunch date. I'm sorry, I lied.
Oh, you do. That's right.
I have a lunch date, and he's not even on here. He's not even on here respecting the channel, and he wants me to come to lunch with him tomorrow. All right. Thank you guys for watching. George, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up?
I'm good, man. It was a quick 3 hours tonight.
It was a quick 3 hours.
No.
How about you?
It's so fun when I'm on here.
Do you have
Thanks for having me as a special guest. I really appreciated my time here. Thank you.
And by special, we mean very special.
Very special guest. Remember how the Love Boat used to have like special guest stars? Like that's just me. I just want to come on and say hey and then like leave.
Very special.
So do you have anything that you actually want to add and say to the people before you leave?
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Goodbye.
That's all.
All right, guys. That is it. We're going to try. So we're hitting the colder season up here. So we're going to try to have more consistent live streams. Woo! Don't know what that looks like yet. No idea.
I know what it looks like.
It's still going to be based around George and his travel time, but we're going to try to do it a little more frequently, definitely more often than every 6 weeks. Hopefully we can kind of build this back up and have a good time this winter and get you guys in here and hang out and have some things to talk about. But thanks for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a blast. George, thanks for tuning in remotely from work locations.
Have fun at your Pride Parade.
Have fun at your gay Pride Parade tomorrow. Get home safe.
Black Panther.
And we'll see you. We'll see you when we see you. I'm probably going to get over there tomorrow and steal my bike back. But thank you, everyone. Hope you had a great time. Have a great weekend coming up, and we will see you guys all real soon.